X in my name is not just a symbol or a target sign. A spell that attracts all who spit facts online all the time. Can you see it? All the ones who drag my name every single day. Can you see it? Can you see it? Can you see it? They keep saying you don't have what it takes to carve out your own name underneath the shadows of gods. And I keep waiting for the day disbelievers say I flew way too close to the sun. I wait, but it never really comes. The answer to my name is not just a symbol or a target sign. A spell that attracts all who speak facts online all the time. The answer to my name is not just a symbol or a target sign. A voice that compels all to rebel from all right shackled minds. Why do they just stand there against when they fall from the battles I have overcome? You feel it, feel the cope and the seething tone that they make while I stand up, man among gods. And I keep thinking with my mill, shooting ropes in my cold that faces towards the sun. They hate, but I'm sitting comfy with their mom. The answer to my name is not just a symbol or a target sign. A spell that attracts all who speak facts online all the time. The answer to my name is not just a symbol or a target sign. A voice that compels all to rebel from all that shackled minds. The answer to my name is not just a symbol or a target sign. A spell that attracts all who speak facts online all the time. The answer to my name is not just a symbol or a target sign. A voice that compels all to rebel from all right shackled minds. It's you and me, your mom, it's me. I'll take another hit from my name. You'll see now, watch me right now, punch your face now. Let me show you how.
Well, well, well. How are we all doing today on this lovely afternoon here in Palm Springs, California? Which is where I'm broadcasting from all of you too, from wherever. You guys put the words together for me. You guys speak English better than I do. Hey guys! What is going on with Taiwan and Nancy Pelosi? Oh boy, it can't be anything good, can it? I'm guessing that, Nancy Pelosi said some cringe shit involving the autonomy of Taiwan, possibly against the autonomy of Taiwan, or maybe she'll surprise me and maybe she said something pro-Taiwan. Listen, if you ever find yourself in the position that a country, like an entire like group of people that, you know, want them to be their own country and like are trying to do what they can to like separate from the country that they are kind of like pigeonholed into being in, you know, a part of, if you're against them having that separation, then you might not be the good guys. Not always, but you might not be. Sometimes. Xan shaved, fresh cut? No fresh cut. In fact, this is my uncut hair. I didn't even brush it today. Well, I did brush it today, but I didn't brush it before stream. This is just how it dried. I think it looks okay right now. Is your audio coming through your headset mic? Let me check. No. No, it is not. Why? Does it sound like it is? Chat, how do I sound? Oh, you know what it is? How about now, chat? Is that better? Is this what you guys were missing? Is this what you guys were missing? I think this might have been what you guys were missing. The microphone's normally much closer to my face and not falling off of the desk. Let's not have it fall off the desk onto my dick. If this falls off the desk and lands on my dick, which it would land directly on my dick and balls, it would hurt so fucking bad. Oh my god, this is not light. This stand alone weighs like 3 pounds. Now, 3 pounds isn't a lot of weight, but if it falls if 3 pounds of weight falls even half a foot onto your cock and balls, I mean, it might as well be a baseball bat swinging full speed. Wait, is my audio fucking up? Wait, hold on. Chat, how's the audio? Is the audio fucked? It looks fine on my end. And I have a very good mic pointing directly at my mouth right now. I can't imagine that there could possibly be anything else to do. Zan, that's called bottom surgery? Oh, good God. Listen, being like in the recovery period for bottom surgery for me sounds like terrifying. Whenever I see someone get injured, I can't help but like imagine how it's gotta feel. And I've had a few of my fans who will come into Discord and they'll they'll go video call while laying in the hospital bed post bottom surgery, and they'll be like, hey, just got bottom surgery, ask me anything. And I've hopped into a couple of those calls just because I want to like talk to them, because it's like one of my fans is laid up in the hospital post bottom surgery. Of course I'm gonna talk to them. It's like, what do you think I am, a fucking asshole? So and I can't imagine how rough the recovery period's got to be for that. Like, not like rough as in like it you know, it uniquely rough, but like all I can imagine is like I wouldn't want to walk. I can only imagine not wanting to walk. The same thing goes for pregnancy and giving birth. Like, I don't know how on earth anyone post giving birth, like 2 or 3 days later, could just get up and walk around. I need to lay down for like 4 hours after I take a big shit. I like after I take a particularly big shit, I gotta lay down for a few hours before I can even like sit up again. I don't know how they do it. Imagine not being able to jerk it anymore. Sad. I have a feeling they don't mind. I have a feeling a lot more thought went into the decision. I think they might have thought about that, and I don't think they mind. Personally, that's just my theory. But you know, take with it what you will. Hey guys, how are you all doing? I think you need to see a doctor, Zan, about like me getting freaked. Okay, I think I've got a thing that I've developed older in my life. Are you getting bottom surgery, Zan? No. I think I've got this thing that I developed later in my life where I've gotten more, I don't want to say squeamish, but with particular injuries, when I witness them, it's harder for me to watch. I wasn't like this when I was younger. Like, I started watching like my first like horrible gore videos on the internet when I was like 10. You know, it's just something that happens when you grow up online. And like, I don't know, but when I turned like 20, 21, 22, it's not empathy. It's certain injuries that I see just make my bones tingle. Like, I saw the other day, or not the other day, but a few months ago, I saw a video of a motorcycle accident. I won't go into super deep detail, but let's just say the guy just fucking explodes. Just fucking explodes. And I watched that video, and that didn't do anything. That didn't make me go like, oh, I can barely look. I looked at that, and I mean, it was like, oh my god, poor guy, disgusting. But it wasn't like I can't even look. But then if I see a video of somebody like break their arm or like break their leg in a certain way, that will get me. And it wouldn't have got me when I was younger, but that will get me. Like somebody like I saw a video where a guy's leg fell, like he was jumping on a trampoline, and then his leg went between the springs and the bar and the actual mat you're supposed to jump on, and just fucking broke. Just snapped. Just fucking snapped. And I had to look away, and I was just like, I literally was doubled over clutching my own leg, like hyperventilating for 2 straight minutes. I don't even know what is wrong with me in that respect. But yeah. Zan, why are you watching gore videos? I don't go out of my way to watch gore videos. It just kind of happens. It just kind of happens. I'm picturing it in my head right now. Why? I'm sorry. Chat, I'm really, really, really sorry to say this to all of you, but you are all now manually breathing. Game end yourself. Fuck. You've lost the game. I love doing that to people, just saying you are now manually breathing, and they get so mad. Because it works. It works. It makes you have to start breathing manually. You are now manually blinking. One Piece 34, thank you for the $5. I really appreciate that. Very kind of you, my friend. Says, here, a good meme song I found you. It better be me. It better be good. I've already seen this one, but we will watch it because I appreciate the $5 and you are amazing, One Piece 34, and I love you. Thank you very much. Hey, if you would like to support the content that you're watching right now and keep it on the air, the YouTube equivalent of on the air, then consider dropping a sub, a dono, or even a gifted sub over on my website, xanderhal.com/live. If you're there right now, then it's easy as clicking one or two buttons. If you're not already on the website, you really, really should be. The website is basically the pinnacle of where my community is at. If my community has a hub, the Xan hub, then it is my website, xanderhal.com/live. So come to the website, make an account, come chat, and if you feel particularly generous, perhaps even support me financially. But of course, there are other ways you can, as well as liking the stream, commenting, subscribing, ring the bell icon, or supporting me financially on YouTube, Twitch, Streamlabs, Stream Elements, or through Patreon. Links, of course, in the description down below. And yeah, also, a portion of all stream donos go to Cherry. That is Cherry's pay, so donate a lot so Cherry gets to buy food today. That would be cool, wouldn't it? Randomly at times, when someone speaks, it just turns to a compilation of sounds that have no meaning. That's normally when I speak. But yeah, that does happen to me sometimes. Usually when I'm high as fuck, and someone's saying things to me that I don't give a shit about. Oh, by the way, chat, how are you all doing today? On a scale of 1 to 10. On a scale of 1 to 10, how well are you doing today? Xanderhal, why is Kiwi Farms trending on Twitter? I think it's trending right now because Kiwi Farms doxed some, like, crazy, like, lefty, tanky, woke skull type person from my understanding of this person's background. And, apparently, they worked as a a defense contractor, or worked for a defense contractor. And, yeah. Xanderhal, what was your favorite DMT moment? My favorite DMT moment? It'd be hard to really pin down anything in particular. I never broke through with DMT. I always took, like, one really, really big pipe hit of DMT as much as I could fit in my lungs, held it in as long as physically possible. And once I started to see random shapes is when I would exhale, because that's usually as long as I could hold my breath for. And not much would come out of my lungs after I'd exhale. I'd hold my breath for like a minute and a half. I never broke through to the extent that I was seeing like aliens or elves or mushrooms. I didn't see the room melt apart or break apart and like appear in another plane of existence. But I definitely can understand the idea of that happening. Like, had I taken one or two more consecutive hits, were I even capable of doing it? Because I was pretty, I was tripping, looking at the beauty of the things around me. I definitely would have broken through, but I never felt the desire to. Nor do I now. Like, the experience that I had with just one, like, substantial hit from a pipe, like, obviously I did it multiple times, but each time it was just one substantial hit. No further than that, never like taking the big three. It's usually considered like most people that I've spoken to, most videos I've watched, most just generally, like if you talk to somebody who knows about this, they'll usually say 3 big hits from a pipe with DMT is what you have to do to break through. And breaking through is basically when you have a trip on the tier of like what you see in cartoons. You know that scene in regular show where they eat the hot sauce, the Mississippi Queen thing? Basically that. That's what breaking through is. When you take so much that literally happens basically. Though I guess I'll say my favorite thing about DMT, like my favorite part, my favorite thing, my favorite aspect of a DMT trip. I can't say if this is like consistent with everybody who tries it. This is just how it was for me every time I tried it. Even the first time I tried it. Um Instantly. The instant the high hits, and like you're the shock of like, oh wow, because it's instant. Like the second you take the hit and you're holding it in, it's very much like the high you get from nicotine. If any of you have vaped or smoked before, how it just immediately washes over your brain. The nicotine, it goes away instantly with nicotine, but with DMT, it's just as fast. It's faster than weed. Like it's instant. It's instantaneous. It hits, and like you take the hit, you start holding your breath. 10 to 30 seconds later, you can exhale and you're going somewhere. And the part of it that I liked the most, DMT lasts 30 minutes max. No way. DMT, there's no, maybe if you took 3 consecutive hits, then it'll last 30 minutes. In my experience, it never lasted more than 15. I have no clue what DMT is. It's a hallucinogenic drug. If you've ever heard of ayahuasca, like the tea that from South America that like the Vsauce guy drank in one of those documentary videos, it's basically extracting the hallucinogenic chemical from that plant, from that tea, turning it into a crystallized form, and then you can smoke it or you can vape it or you can whatever, right? That's what I meant. You have to hit that shit hard. Oh yeah, well maybe if you take 3 consecutive hits, maybe then it lasts for 30 minutes, but in my experience 15 minutes is about as much as you're getting, and the last 5 minutes is the come down. And the come down's very nice. The come down is basically like what I understand an LSD trip to be like. The last 5 minutes coming down from DMT is like what TV shows and movies make an LSD trip look like, basically. My come down was awful. When I'm coming down from DMT, or coming down as if I actively do it, but when I would come down from DMT, I would like be in the greatest mood and I'd just sit up and I'd fucking walk around and I'd just be in a great mood. I'd be like, I want to go on a walk. I want to like do I'd be in the mood to do chores and clean the house and like be productive. Once I got up, it's surprising, but yeah. Xanderhal, what does the dono goal have to be for you to start an OnlyFans? Why, Cherry? Are you trying to get a cut of the OnlyFans revenue? Cherry's thinking with that Sigma mindset. Do DMT for Joe Rogan. So I'm not gonna do OnlyFans. Hey, Star. I Xanderhal, my dad tried to get me to try weed as a high schooler and almost kicked me out over the fact that I wouldn't. That is horrible parenting. So I do think that when you're like, I think it's completely fine parenting to be like, all right, listen, son, daughter, or child of indescribable gender. You're in high school. Uh, let's have a beer together and let's smoke a joint together. Just once. Like if they're down for it, because like I feel like it's important to be like, I never did any drugs or anything like that in school, but I know that there's going to be kids that like want to do that kind of stuff, and for God's sakes, parents trying to keep their kids from going out and partying and drinking and smoking weed with their friends are basically fighting an impossible battle, a literally impossible battle. So why not instead establish a bound of trust with your parents and whatnot, or with your kid or whatever, and it'd be like, listen, we had a beer together and we smoked a joint together. While we do that, we're gonna have a conversation about how you responsibly engage in this type of behavior, because I know we're not going to be able to stop you from sneaking out or doing whatever you want to do, because you're a teenager and teenagers going to do what they want to do. But I'm going to do everything I can as a parent to help you do it as responsibly as possible. Same thing goes for sex. I've always wanted to smoke a J with my dad. If I ever, like, before being 18, had been like, hey, mom, can I smoke some weed with you? She probably would have smacked me across the face. But, like, I buy my mom's weed now. Like, I buy her weed. Like, when we go to the dispensary and I buy my weed, I buy hers too. So, I don't think, so we kind of just, we don't, like, sit down and do a puff puff pass, but, like, I guess it's almost like that, only it's not the same when you're an adult and you're, you know, it's different than like being a kid and smoking weed with your parents and being an adult, like a 23-year-old and smoking weed with your parents. Very different thing. So you think your parents should do sex with their children? That's what you read out of it, Wingo. Weed is great. Balthazar used to shit talk weed so much. Balthazar had like never really gotten high for real before. So it was like, oh yeah, weed doesn't work on me. I just don't have any effect with weed. Weed's just not that strong. It's not that good. And then Balth like recently, I think did some edibles and got ridiculously high. And now Balth is like, I love weed. I still haven't smoked weed before. Well, Linkstar, when I move to Washington State, I'm not gonna be too far from Canada. So maybe I fly you down and you try some of that marijuana. Weed's legal in Canada? Well, if one of my friends is going to try weed for the first time, I want to be there with them when they try it. Ideally. I literally called up my friends and got into a video call with them when I tried weed for the first time. I was like, guys, I'm about to smoke weed for the first time. So here's the camera. And it's not 420 yet. I know, but I'm live, so I like to take a few hits just to get a little giggly. And that's where that photo of me in like the paint me like one of your French girls pose, high as fuck on that like half of a mattress comes from. If any of you have seen that image, that was me the first time I'd ever gotten high. Probably moments before I'd throw up. I greened out the first 12 times I smoked weed. I greened out hard. Watching Rocky Horror Picture Show high is such an experience. Can I tell you guys a story? Can I tell you guys the story of like the closest I've ever come, I think, to getting shot besides the time when I was working as a lifeguard? I think I've told this story before, but I haven't told it in a long time, so I'll retell this one. This is the closest I've ever gotten to getting shot. And it actually taught me a really neat trick that I'll probably end up using one day if it ever becomes necessary, even if it's just a bluff. When I was 16 years old, I worked as a lifeguard at a place called Weeki Springs State Park in Florida. And the particular day that this happened, we were at maximum capacity at the park. They weren't letting anybody else in. But here's the thing. They don't limit the amount of tickets they sell for a day to the capacity of the park. They sell many more tickets per day, or like have the cap is many more tickets per day than the limit of people that can be in the park at once. I think you can understand that not often, but at least during certain times of the year, especially during the summer, this can lead to some problems. The particular problem this led to was me getting called from my lunch break and being told, hey, when you clock back in, don't go to your post, because I was supposed to go to my, the first post of my next shift. Instead, we need you to put on your because I also volunteered as a park ranger there when I wasn't working as a lifeguard, because I was still planning on going to college, so I needed volunteer hours. So I ended up volunteering like probably 120 hours. It ended up being as a park ranger at that park as well. So he was like, I need you to go to your locker, put on your park ranger clothes. Like, it wasn't gear, it was just like a polo shirt, some khaki shorts, and like boots and stuff that I could wear out to the parking lot. And I had to go out into the parking lot in a golf cart, which I lied to my boss. I lied to my boss and told him that I knew how to drive. I still don't have my driver's license, mostly because I don't want to have to pay for insurance. But I don't know how to drive either, because I haven't bothered to learn. So I did not know how to drive. Now, granted, it was just a golf cart, was not hard to teach myself, but like, I was like, yeah, I know how to drive. Yeah, because I was too embarrassed to say I didn't because I was 16 and I felt like I needed to know how. And so I just like for the next 5 minutes when he just said, okay, here's the golf cart, go drive up front with this thing and block the parking lot with it. I was like, okay, um, all right. And so I taught myself how to drive this little thing really quick in the little grass area. And I started, I drove out and I had to like go through a lot of people. I'm really lucky I didn't run over a child or a turtle or something. So I go through there. I go up to the fuck. If you've ever been to Weeki Wachee Springs State Park, by the way, then or Buccaneer Bay is more specifically where this would have been happening. If you've ever been there, I want you to, and you remember what the layout is like, or you have it open on Google Maps and you're like following along with my story to get a visual. I like to do that when YouTubers tell stories. If they specify where it was, I'll look that place up and get a visual so I can help kind of visualize the story they're telling and what the setting was really like. But the golf cart was parked right next to the guard shack where that big open field is. So I did a couple of like donuts and like learned how to reverse and go forward a little bit in the thing. I was just like to my boss, I haven't driven one of these in a while, just getting the hang of it. He was like, okay. And I like taught myself how to drive that thing really fast. And then I drove up the sidewalk all the way up to the front gate, went out the front gate, and then down up the sidewalk around this big fountain they have out front, then into the parking lot, parked the golf cart perpendicular to the road, or parallel to the road, perpendicular to the entrance to the parking lot to block the road so that nobody else could pull into the parking lot, trying to go up to the front gate and like hand in their tickets and be like, what do you mean I can't go in? What do you mean? They were sending me out there to deal with the angry Karens, that the people sitting at the desk at the gate who are supposed to take the tickets wouldn't have to. So that was a little bit upsetting. But what really upset me, and I was worried to even tell my mom this story initially, because like I didn't tell my mom this story until after I stopped working there, because I was so concerned she'd make me quit my job after this happened, because hell of a helicopter parent. She always was. So I was really concerned she'd like make me quit my job if I told this story. But this is what happened. About 30 minutes after I parked this golf cart, like to block the parking lot, a car drives up. A lot of cars have been driving up, and I've been having to tell them, I'm sorry, we're at capacity, you gotta go, you can come back later in the day maybe. It was like 2 p.m. and the park closed at 5, so they were not happy to hear they had to come back later to be able to, especially the ones that had driven from out of town. So eventually a car pulls up, and it's this guy who is in the driver's seat. He has presumably his wife in the passenger seat, and he had at least one kid in the back seat. I wasn't paying attention to the back seat, but there was at least one kid, and it was like a young kid, like buckled up into like a seat, like one of those booster seats or whatever they're called, like just the seat you put a kid in a car that's extra safe. And this guy comes up, he's like, why can't I get it? What's going on? And I'm like, I'm sorry, sir, but unfortunately we've reached capacity. I can't let you in because you got to come back later, all that, right? And he's like, are you fucking serious? We drove all the way from Daytona to come here. I was like, I'm really sorry, sir. I'm really, really sorry. Mind you, Daytona is like a 6-hour drive away. So if they came from Daytona, they like woke up at like 5 a.m. to start driving. And I'm like, I'm really, really sorry, sir. Did you get day tickets? And they're like, they're week tickets. I'm like, okay, could you come tomorrow? Maybe get a hotel nearby. There's nothing I can really do. And we have this argument where he's yelling at me, and I'm like doing my best not to like throw my walkie-talkie at this guy's face. And that's when he gets upset, like really upset. And he reaches over his wife's lap, presumably his wife's lap, maybe older daughter, I don't know. Presumably his very young wife's lap, and opens up the glove compartment to show me his fucking pistol he has in there. I don't remember what type of pistol it was, but it was a gun. And I knew it was a real one. I could tell. It like the heft it had to it, the weight it had to it, he didn't grab it. He just opened it up and showed it to me. And I was just like, this is just my job, dude. And I just moved I just moved the cart and let him in, and then immediately pulled out my walkie-talkie and rung up my boss. Now, my boss was literally like the head, like the top of the park rangers and that entire like county of Florida. So like we're talking about as far as like park rangers go, a pretty high ranking federal employee. So that's who I decided to specifically call for on my walkie-talkie, because this guy just threatened me with a gun. And as a lifeguard working at a a state park, that's a fucking big deal, because that means that I was technically a federal employee. Plus, that's just illegal in general. So the guy gets reported, and I report him, and within 20 minutes, I get to see the cops taking that guy out of the park in handcuffs. And his family's like walking behind. They didn't get arrested or anything, but they took him out of the park in fucking handcuffs. Xan Fed moment? I mean, yeah, technically. Technically, Xan's a Fed, a lifeguard Fed. But yeah, that was fucking crazy. Now now let me tell you guys the other story. This is the other time where I think I was the closest to no, I did not get to bang one of the mermaids. I really tried. This is the other time where I came really close to getting shot. I feel like. And this was with, there was a girl that I really liked in high school. I've told stories about her before. And we had a date where I went over to her house, and her family was throwing a party. Her like whole family and extended family were there. We're both in high school, so we're like kids at this point. I got dropped off at her house, and her parents are there. Her whole family's there. And we were sitting on the couch together watching a movie. And oh my God, did I think I was so fucking terrified when this happened. Let me tell you what ended up happening, okay? So we're sitting on the couch, and we were watching Rocky Horror Picture Show. This is the person who mentioned that movie is what reminded me of this story. We were watching Rocky Horror Picture Show, and she, like, we had like a blanket over us, like we were like under a blanket watching the movie on the couch, and like her entire family is like out on the back patio, so they're like 10 steps away, like 15 steps away, but behind multiple walls and doors. And so I guess she felt it appropriate. I mean, I wasn't upset about it, but she felt it safe, I should say, to try to reach for my dick. Now, I should tell all of you. Oh, the dad had guns. The dad had guns and did not like me, by the way. He tolerated me at best. And I didn't like the dad either. And he had guns. He had like guns on display. So like it wasn't like this is just a guy who seems like he has guns, or he's a guy who said he has guns, but they're probably someone. This is a guy who, like, if he wanted to, could just grab one, like just grab one. This guy was a gun loving man, and that was something I respected about him, because I actually, his guns were really nice, and that was one of the things I complimented him on, and he actually seemed to like that. But anyway, she goes grabbing for my dick, and I'm like, now, this is the first time a girl's ever gone grabbing for my dick before. And as thrilling as that is, so I had like this really mixed feeling of, holy shit, this is like the first, holy fuck, this is like one of those big moments. Then at the same time, it's like, but oh my God, her entire family is literally in the other room, and her dad, her aunt, anybody could just walk in and see this happening, and it's done. It's over. It's fucking over. Just got another DDoS attack. Someone doesn't like us. Oh yeah, hash hosting. I got a lot of very, very crazed and psychopathic fans, or anti-fans, I mean. But yeah, and I ended up having to. I ended up having to like grab her hand and go, no, I'm sorry, I can't do it. And she thought I was like she thought she'd done something creepy. She thought she'd been like, hey, like afterwards when I went home, she was like, hey, are you like okay? I know, like I thought you were cool with me doing stuff like that. Like the way you talk in text, I was like, no, I'm fine with you going to grab. I was not in any way like emotionally traumatized by you going to grab my dick or anything. The problem was your dad was in the other room and your whole family was in the other room, and that's just not how I wanted that to go. Oh, that was terrifying. I feel like I was literally, and not only that, but 30 seconds later, her dad came in and walked past us to go to the bathroom. And I remember thinking like it would have been over. Best case scenario, I would have been kicked out of that fucking house and would have had to wait on the corner for my mom to pick me up. Whew, I was 15, I think. Damn, you were fingering girls at 12, psychosocialism? For some reason, I'm skeptical, but I'll take you at your word. Zan, when you run into a guy with a gun, show your bigger gun, like a penis measuring contest. True. Or just pull out your penis itself. That's even better. No, but what that story that involved the when I was the lifeguard, what that story taught me was like, if I ever get into a situation where it seems like I'm getting mugged via like knife or something, or like through my car window, the best thing, like not the best thing to do, but maybe if it seems like there's no other option, doing the bluff of like, go, I got a fucking gun in my glove compartment. Maybe it works. Maybe the bluff will work. Every single person I've met who's deterred, who's used a gun to stop a crime from being done to them, it was literally as simple as them showing that they were carrying and then the person running away. And that's it. They never had to even touch the gun or fire it. Every person I've ever met who claims, at least, that they stopped a crime being done to them with a gun never had to touch or fire said gun. Just the fact that they had it, or like the suggestion that, hey, I have a fucking gun, that's how this will go, is enough to deter something from happening. And then everybody clapped. Those are just the stories that I've heard from people. The people that I've heard those stories from are trustworthy. People that I know own guns and like aren't the type of people to lie about stuff to make themselves sound good to me, like to try to like impress me. So that's all I'll say. In the distance, thank you for the Prime sub. I really appreciate that. 4 months. Thank you very, very much. Thank you. The Crystal Cat, thank you for the $5.69 donation. Very based, very kind. I'm only going to add that as 5 because I don't like the cent amounts, but thank you. Zan, you just scared me enough to never set foot on American soil. We've got more guns than people here, my friend. But thank you, the Crystal Cat. Says, just got back home from the gym. Woo, day 1 out of 31. Hopefully I keep it up. Well, listen, expecting yourself to go to the gym every day is extremely unrealistic. And it's just going to burn you out. Nobody, like, who's in shape and fit and, like, works out, like, I mean, there are people, but, like, 99.9% of, like, good in shape, like, really in good shape people that you see don't go to the gym every day. It's just not what you do usually. Usually you would do, like, 3 days a week. That's the most common workout thing. Like, it's usually push-pull legs is usually the most common one. Or, like, a upper body, lower body, or upper body, like people do like upper bodies, like arms, chest, and then they'll do lower bodies, like crunches and squats and legs, and they'll alternate every other day. So it's like you do legs and crunches and like core and legs one day, off day, then upper body, off day, then back to legs and core. But most people just do a push-pull legs and a day each day in between. So every other day is a perfectly fine gym regimen. If you're trying to push yourself to go every single day, you're just going to go for like 2 or 3 days at best, burn yourself out, and then give up. And the worst thing, too, you need to watch fitness videos on YouTube. Like, the thing that does the most to motivate me to work out is just constantly having videos of my recommended from like Greg Doucette and shit like that. I'm not saying Greg Doucette's like the best be-all end-all of fitness YouTubers, but just constantly having tons and tons and tons and tons of fitness YouTuber content and your recommended makes you feel like a piece of shit if you're not working out. Like I'll watch a brownie video and I'll just be like, where's my fucking kettlebells? Where's my kettlebells? And I'll just get like peer pressured by my YouTube recommended into picking up my kettlebells and doing a workout. It can really just be that simple. Unironically, if you're trying to get into working out, the hardest thing is going from not being in any shape whatsoever and then going into the gym. Even if nobody is judging you, because nobody is actually judging you. Nobody in the gym is actually judging you. Especially if you're like coming in and you're like clearly a beginner. If anyone is judging you, they're thinking, "Oh hell yeah, we got to do some." I hope he keeps coming to the gym. I want to see this person, like, I want to see their progress. And maybe they'll, like, if they're regular, they'll be like, "Oh, new gym, maybe I'll be able to see their progress." That's the most you might get. Like, nobody at gyms is like actually that much of like a judgmental asshole who's like looking at you and judging you, and like that's not as common as it's usually made out to be. Or like your mind might make you think it is. But if that is still a worry for you, if you still have that sort of internal like issue, literally buy some kettlebells. Buy like a nice gym mat for $8 off of Amazon and some kettlebells of different weights of what you need, and do at-home workouts until you're like, and like get your calories and everything in order and get into some like decent shape that way. And then once you feel confident enough to walk into the gym, that's when you can upgrade to that. I like resistance loops personally. I like weights. I like lifting heavy thing. There's just something about the feeling of lifting a heavy thing and then like slowly letting it go down, but then not entirely letting it go down, and then slowly bring it back. Just something about that feeling and that just feels really nice. I really enjoy lifting weights. Like the feeling of it is nice. What's your leg press? Oh my god. My like back in the day, if you're asking me during when I was an athlete, when I was in high school and I was an athlete, I was going to the gym at least once a week, and I was going to swim practice 5 days a week for 2 hours. I was leg pressing when I didn't want to hurt myself. When I was scared to hurt myself, I would do 220, and that wasn't even a 1 rep max. That was just me just doing like a few sets of 20. A few sets of 20, 220. That wasn't even me like 1 rep maxing. That was me like, I don't feel like hurting myself. I'm just gonna do some sets of 10 or 20. I can do 220 was no problem. If I wanted to 1 rep max it back then, I probably could have gone up to over 300, like maybe even up to 350. It's hard to say when you've never even tried to 1 rep max before, but so I have no idea of knowing, but I will say that 230 was nothing. Not nothing, but it was like, it didn't hurt. It didn't hurt. But remember, this is back when I was in much better shape than I am now. I'm a skinny piece of shit right now. I haven't gotten my calories in at all. I like forget to eat. I forget to... You know what I've eaten today, chat? A banana. That's it. I've eaten a single banana today. Mostly because I forgot to eat up until 5 minutes before I went live and realized, oh shit, I haven't eaten today. I'm going to get hungry midway through stream, so I ate a banana. Because that's all I could eat in time. Go eat, I hate eating on stream. Need to cut back on the nicotine? Nicotine does kill your appetite, I've heard. Well, a symbolic symbol, a big part of that is having an infinite supply of eggs once the quail arc begins, huh? All right, listen. We're going to watch this absolute banger really fast before we transition into the political topics. Oh, Morty, you gotta stick these seeds up in your asshole, Morty. You gotta shove them way up in your asshole, Morty.
Jimmy's mom has got it going on. Jimmy's mom has got it going on. Jimmy's mom has got it going on. Jimmy's mom has got it going on.
Can I just say for a moment? Probably one of the worst deaths that we've gotten because of COVID has to be the lead singer of Fountains of Wayne. That's tough. That was a tough one. When I saw that, I remember like getting angry when I saw that. Yeah. You know? Yeah, hold on, chat. Fountains of Wayne is the band that made Stacy's Mom and a lot of other very popular songs that you would probably recognize just by hearing literally a clip of it. And the lead singer, I believe, died in 2020. Yep, here it is. Fountain of Wayne's Adam Schlesinger, dead at 52 from coronavirus. And that was on April 1st, 2020. Not an April Fool's joke. I really, really hoped it was when I heard that and that news came out, but no, it was real. Fucking Republicans. Trump is to blame for that man's death, by the way. 100%.
Jimmy, can I come over after school? We can hang around by the pool.
Okay, as based as the original song is, the music video is so fucking weird. I'm sorry. That music video is just unfucking comfortable. Jesus Christ. Like, when I heard the song originally, I was thinking, like, okay, maybe, like, at the youngest, the perspective of the singer is, like, 16. And maybe then it's not as weird, but just, holy fuck. How many of you fellow degens have seen Jimmy's Mom, Rule 34? I have not. I've never considered Jimmy's Mom to be high up on the list, if I'm being honest with you guys. I'm sorry, but Jimmy's Mom is mid. Jimmy's Mom is below mid, actually. Like, I respect Carl Wheezer for, like... I respect Carl's... the sentiment behind Carl's desire. Like, I can respect it, you know? Like, I respect that Carl is a MILF chaser. The issue is, his particular choice is just not good. It's just not good. But I still respect his adherence to the idea. He still adheres very strongly to the idea, and that's what matters at the end of the day.
Did your mom get back from her business trip? Is she there, or is she trying to give me the slip?
Okay, I'm gonna get demonetized if I play any more of the background music of this. Anyway, by the way, chat, I wanted to ask you a question. I have to ask you guys an opinion on something, because I know that gaming content isn't the most popular on my stream, but I would really like to do more gaming streams, or at the very least, add more, like, streamed hours to my channel, and make a lot of that, you know, be gaming content, in part. So, I wanted to make a proposition to you guys. This would be a thing that would have to happen a little bit further out, than, like, right away. Though it depends on how enthusiastic you guys are, I suppose. However, I have begun playing through the Fallout series for the first time. I'm starting with Fallout 4, and I plan to finish with what everyone claims to be, by far, the best Fallout game. Fallout New Vegas. Wait, holy shit, I just noticed. Are you becoming a Giga Chad? Holy shit, that chin. Lone Cat. Guys, has my jawline not always been, like, a known about thing on here? Like, is this a fucking joke? Is this a fucking... Are you kidding me? Look at that indentation there. Let me look at you straight on. Look at this. Look at that. Becoming a Giga Chad. I always was. I always was. When you shave, it's so much more noticeable. That's why I do it sometimes. I will say, though, the only downside with having the good jawline is that, like, I have TMJ particularly badly on my right, on the right mandible here. And I get this locking, tight pain, dull pain from, like, around here up to here. It actually goes more so around like this. It goes around my ear like this. but mostly up around here in this area. And to get it to go away, I have to pop my jaw. And the only way to pop it is to do a very particular motion with my mouth. It's very hard to like express to you guys, but I'll try to emulate it. I have to open my mouth and then shift my bottom like jaw to the right. And I have to do it in a very certain way repetitively till it finally pops. And it's a very sharp, high-pitched pop. And it's like all of the tension through all of this, all of the pain, all of the soreness, all of like the tightness, just lets go. And it just lets go. And the pop is always so loud. Yeah, very loud. This side doesn't give me much of a problem. It pops and it'll lock up, but if it locks up, it pops without any issue. I can literally just do this and it'll pop without any problem and it won't bother me. But it's this side that has always given me the most issues, and I don't even remember when it started. My whole life, it's been like, pop your jaw when you have the, like, and figure it out, or you're not going to be able to speak very well. Your mouth is going to be like, locked shut. See a doctor? Crystal Ignition. Reminder that I'm American, by the way. You understand seeing the doctor for any reason costs money, right? My mom used to say when I was a kid that when I start driving, if I get into a car accident, I either need to come out of it pretty much fine or it's gotta kill me, because God help us if I just come out of it like paralyzed or mortally wounded or like horribly wounded to the extent that it's going to just send us into medical bankruptcy, because we would not be able to afford that. That's growing up in America, chat. I was like, my mom was like, you can never break any bones or like lose a finger or like break a tooth or like lose a limb or lose an eye or any of that. She was like very adamant that none of these things ever happen, especially breaking bones. So I've never once in my entire life broken a bone. Not even once. Now, to be fair, I've done some stuff that should have gotten me a broken bone. I came, the closest I've ever came to getting a broken bone once, and I really honestly should have broken my leg doing this. I really deserved a broken leg doing this. Have any of you ever been to Red Rock Theater in Colorado? Because I have. Let me show you what I did. It was a day when the theater was completely empty. Not completely. There was no show there. So it was completely fine to, like, go up onto the stage and stuff. There's a very famous theater in Red Rock, Colorado, where lots of really big bands will play. Here it is. So I went there. Walked all the way down, and I decided to go onto the stage and climb up these rocks. And I was probably like 13 at the time. I climbed up to probably here. That doesn't look very high, but it's very high. I can't like say for sure because it's really hard to tell perspective. I got it pretty high. I got at least 8 to 10 feet high. And then my mom was like, all right, come down from there. It's time to, go back to the cabin. It's getting dark. Now, I'd been playing a lot of Assassin's Creed. I felt like I'd visually gotten down the roll, the shoulder roll for like dampening a fall. I felt like I'd really gotten it down, you know? Like visually, I felt like I knew more or less what you had to do to like take a 10-foot fall and just kind of roll the momentum out and not get hurt. So that's exactly what I did. And I did it surprisingly well. Well enough that I did not break my leg. Not well enough, however, to not sprain my ankle. I sprained my left ankle and spent the whole rest of the vacation and the next couple weeks after that having to elevate it and keep weight off of it. And it healed on its own, no hospital trip needed. We were really concerned it was broken, but I was like, don't take I don't feel like it's broken. I feel like it would be more, this is not enough pain for it to be broken. Is what I remember saying. Like, it really hurts, it's swollen, it looks fucked up, but I don't think this is enough pain for it to be broken. I feel like it hurt more. So we didn't go to the hospital and it healed on its own. And to be fair, I do still have a fucked up ankle on that side. Sorry, not my left side, my right side. I still have a fucked up ankle there. Like, right now, I'm literally just popping it over and over again, like extending my toe. Like, you know that thing where you point your toes forward with your leg? When I do that, it causes a loud snap sounding pop that everybody can hear in the room out of my ankle whenever I do that every time. So maybe that has something to do with that, but I don't have much pain there, really, like not too much. So I think I'm okay. I think we're good in that department. All right. I've kept you guys waiting an hour for the good shit, haven't I? Oh, yeah. Yeah, carbonated peach milk. It fucking sucks. Xanderhal, I fried my first quail eggs this afternoon. We got some more quail recently, and I named one Xander Quail. Hell yeah, Dreadful Dave. I ordered a 24 pack or 24 like carton order of Jumbo Coturnix quail eggs about a week ago, and they'll be arriving in the next 2 or 3 days. I ordered the cracker thing, like the thing to bust them open and get the, like, it's like a special pair of scissors that cracks the eggs. You can't crack them normally because just how small they are. So you have to, like, basically take a little thing that snips the top off the egg, and then you just pour the yolk and the whites out of this little hole in the top. It's pretty cute. So basically, yeah, no, they're fertilized. They're fresh and they're fertilized. But I'm just gonna put them in the fridge as soon as I get them, and I'm going to cook them up. Basically, anywhere that you're going to get quail eggs online, they're going to be fertilized. They're just not, like, but they won't start you got to incubate them for them to develop, though. Like, I might candle them just to check, because it's really warm where I am, and I am concerned that they might have started incubating just from the heat of, like, being in the back of the truck. Like, it is hot enough out here that during transport, some of them could have started incubating. So I'm probably going to candle them. I'd incubate those, TBH. I don't have the facilities to do that. I can't do that here. So I'll probably candle them first, just to make sure that there's no developing quail in any of those eggs before I, crack them into a pan. But I doubt any of them will have developed. But I'll check, just because I'm worried. Anyway, listen. You are all beautiful and sexy and amazing and gorgeous and awesome for being here and watching me. So with that said, I think it's time we get into our very first segment. What do you guys think? I think so. Borp. Oh, wait, I was going to ask you guys, before I move on, can I ask, once I beat all the rest of the Fallout games, or maybe sooner if you guys are really interested, people keep saying that they would do anything to experience playing through Fallout New Vegas for the first time again. I have never played Fallout New Vegas a single time in my life. I've never even watched a Let's Play. I've seen memes about it, and I've heard references to it, and I've absorbed some parts of it through cultural osmosis, though I've never played it and I've never watched prolonged gameplay of it. My plan is, when I get to Fallout New Vegas, to install some, like, texture mods or texture stuff and whatnot to improve the graphics of the game, make it look a little bit more, modern, just a little bit. I'm not going to go too insane in that front, and do a full playthrough of the game for the first time, as everybody likes to talk about. Everyone says like your first time playing Fallout New Vegas is like better than your first time having sex. So considering that patrolling the Mojave almost makes you wish for a nuclear winter, and so many people seem to like fucking wish that they could experience the game for the first time again, would you guys like to witness me experience Fallout New Vegas for the first time and experience that feeling vicariously through me? Would you guys watch that and be interested? I'm concerned that Fallout wouldn't be as entertaining of a game for you guys to watch me play. You need Viva New Vegas mod guide. Does all bug fixes and stuff. It's non-intrusive and great for first time. I'll look into it. I've got a friend that's really into Fallout modding that'll be helping me. Fair warning, you cannot sprint in the game. That's fine. I'm worried you've had it overhyped. I've only seen part of it from the old Christopher Walken throughs. Christopher Walken here, and today we're going to be playing Slender the 8 Pages. Today is National Girlfriend Today, and I am A-Train. Listen, okay? I could have used a visit from A-Train, alright? My boy A-Train pulling up and helping me out a while ago would have saved a lot of problems. Me when I see a happy couple. I love the A-Train memes so much. They're so fucking good. Wait, can I show you guys one really quick? I saw one on Twitter today that was just so fucking good. I know I was supposed to get the segments, but I gotta show you guys this first. It's A-Train Day. Me when I see a happy couple. God. I don't get it. Watch The Boys. How have you not watched The Boys at this point? I feel like The Boys has become Lefty Fight Club. The Boys is Lefty Fight Club. It really, really is. It's a really good piece of media that has really good, like, I'd argue, pretty damn good political commentary that is very obviously, like, from a left-wing perspective, but, a little bit less, like, it's on the nose, but when you look past the memes, because, like, people who analyze the politics of The Boys miss the subtext, the subtextual political message, and only see the overt ones. They see, like, Stormfront fans are bad. They're saying Nazis are bad. You know, oh, yeah. That's part of it. That is part of it. But when you really, really, really look at the subtext of The Boys' political message, I get a different impression. Especially after Season 3. The vibe that I get is that Vought is meant to represent the capitalist corporate structure, those that desire profit above all. And Homelander represents right-wing populism, while The Boys represent those that really, really just want to tear the whole system down, and, you know, like the people that support, say, Starlight, like you're the lefty types that, you know, fall for like the woke Vought commercials and everything. They represent like the left. Now, both like the right, the Homelander fans, and Homelander himself, as well as those that are fans of like Starlight and that are against Homelander, they and like are more on the progressive side, they're all under Vought's thumb. VOT plays both sides through everything. Their corporate interests are always all they give a shit about. They simultaneously enable all of Homelander's horrible far-right shit, while at the same time acting all woke and progressive and everything, covering up, sexual assault, all of that, right? And the thing that I noticed the most in season 3 was the scene where Butcher and Homelander speak. It almost seemed like a nod at the idea that the far right and far left, and by far left I mean like accelerationist types, and by the far right I mean like your like insane want to tear down democracy types, both, should they have their way, and should they win, would destroy our society. Those tanky types, horrible. The Nazi types, the white nationalist types, horrible. And yet, in that sort of discussion they have, I kind of got that sort of like vibe there, that this is like they're the two sides of the same coin. If either of them have their way, then the world's going to suffer in some way. Maybe that's me looking too deep into it, but that's really the vibe that I get. And it's, yeah, really, yeah. It comes off as like both of them want to tear down the system for different reasons, and if either of them succeeds, it'll be bad. I also want to say that even in the 7 representation of the alt-right, I wouldn't say the representation's the alt-right, even has infighting, cough cough, tragedy of season 3 finale. No, I don't think that the 7 represents the alt-right at all, actually. I just think it represents celebrities. I think the 7 is just supposed to be a representation of the fact that superheroes in this world are large public figures and celebrities. That's all it is. The individual characters and their public presentation and their relationship with Vought, though, I think that's really where it comes down, right? Like Homelander, for example, on like Vought's main news network, will be going on, like, Vought has a news network that is basically Fox News that has like Tucker Carlson like standing on it, and they'll be like hosting Homelander going on like a nationalistic rampage on their like with their Tucker Carlson on their Fox News equivalent, while at the same time putting out like pride ads for Maeve in the 7, like Maeve Pride whatever's, and the Vought world or Voughtland or whatever the Disney World like thing they did has like the BLM BLTs and the LGBT whatever it was. I don't remember what it was. Like they make fun of like the corporate fake woke stuff as well. And yeah, the woke walk thing, yeah. Brave Maeve, yeah. Like they go after all of it, but at the end of the day, the main message of the show seems to be that Vought and their corporate interests, those that represent like the capitalist ruling class, whatever you want to say, they're the ones who are pulling all the strings of the far right and far left, both literally in the show, as well as the representations of the far left and far right politically in the show. And all their strings are being pulled by Vought to make as much money as possible. They are making money off of the culture war between the Homelander supporters that are super far right crazies that are like supporting Vought because of Homelander, and all the left wing people that are supporting Vought because they're commodifying the progressive messaging of some other parts of the 7, right? All the strings are being pulled. I kind of like that. It's cool political messaging. It's a bit subtextual, a little bit more so than the on-the-nose political messaging of the show, so people don't really look for it, but it's there. So if I'm talking about Butcher, Brad, if Butcher wins, then we lose. Yes, absolutely. Season 3 made it very, very clear that Butcher's endgame would be horrendous. Anyway, and he knows it. Vought bad. Okay. One Piece 34, thank you for the $5 donation. I really appreciate it. Oh, yeah. One more thing before you stream this game will make you into a Ratchet and Clank fan, especially it being a newcomer and oldcomer and 20-year-old series. Okay, interesting. Well, thank you for the $5. Really appreciate that. Oh, did you send me a link? Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. All right, I'll check out this trailer for you, One Piece. Thank you for the $5. Let's watch this.
Members of the Resistance.
Oh no!
It's okay. Just me.
We promise.
Did they make Ratchet and Clank woke? Did they make Ratchet and Clank woke? I refuse. I refuse to support this. They made it woke.
Nothing nefarious will befall you. We promise.
Dr. Nefarious. This is the part where you lose.
Ratchet, the Dimensionator.
Dr. Nefarious just crowned himself Emperor of this dimension.
We've got to get him and
Ratchet and Clank has always been woke.
us out of here. But without the Dimensionator...
I think we have to build a new one. The boundaries between the universes are coming undone.
Our time has finally come.
Is Ratchet trans now?
Wow. Another Lombax.
Wait, I have to find my friend.
Where are you, Clank?
You okay, Bolts?
You came after me.
Pirate mateys, attack! We didn't follow that law.
Can I say one thing that I like about this game? Like, just from what I'm seeing here, I'll compliment this well. I really like cartoony art styles. As I've gotten older, surprisingly enough, games with cartoony art styles have been the games that just kind of like, not only broadly, culturally seem to stick around the longest, but also seem to be like the most consistently playable for me in the long run. You know? Like, think about it. I don't even think it has anything to do with like graphics looking outdated, right? Like, you play CS:GO today, and CS:GO still looks fine. CS:GO is a beautiful looking game. Like, especially when you max out all the settings, it's not a bad looking game at all. It has some really, really good graphics and effects. The only issue is the game got outshined by Valorant, a game with a cartoony, stylized art style. League of Legends got beat out, or Dota 2 got beat out by League of Legends, a game with more cartoony, stylized art style. Fortnite beat out PUBG and all of its other competitors, including Apex, because it had a more cartoony and like colorful art style. I feel like the visuals and the fact that like a game has more like pop and color to it, I feel like that sticks with you. The aesthetic of that sticks with you longer, and it's doable even if you're trying to emulate more realistic graphics. Yeah, Team Fortress 2 and Overwatch, those games have very cartoony art styles. It seems like that's what we're kind of moving more towards. Not only that, I like how they did it here, where it's still a cartoony, stylized like thing, but they added like texture and detail to things. So it looks really nice, but at the same time, it's got that sort of cartooniness. Like, this game will never look bad. Like, you can come back and play this game in 50 years, and if the game actually looks like this, then it won't look bad. It's not going to look like an old game, necessarily. At least I don't feel like it will. I don't know. Like, one thing that I always hated, especially in multiplayer games, like PvP-related ones, are games where it's really easy for the character to blend into the environment when that's not the intention of the game, right? Like in DayZ, I'm fine with it because that's a game where you're like supposed to be able to hide in the grass and like shoot someone down. Tarkov, it's fine, all that. But like when I'd play PUBG, the worst thing ever was like sweeping over an area and then just missing a player laying in the grass because his clothes and skin are the same color as everything else, which is sort of a tannish brown. Everything in PUBG back when I played it was tannish brown. All of the gear, all of the weapons, and all of the players were dressed in tannish brown, and so were the environments. So every player, like, you had to really look for movement. But when you played Fortnite, players stuck out like a sore thumb. So it wasn't about who sees who first and just unloads on them and destroys them. It's about who sees who and, like, engages the fight first, has an upper hand, but you can absolutely outskill your opponent if they saw you first, if you're better than them. And that was a part of what made Fortnite very special. And, you know, yeah. There's a Hitler in every universe? Okay. My chatters are fucking weird. All right. We got to get to the content now. Until build battles. I'm so glad they added that thing to Fortnite where there's no build battles, the no building mode. I really want to play it, but I haven't had a chance to yet. No, Zan, you need to read the context. My chatters be like, context? Context? All right. Chat, you know what to do when I say action, right? 3, 2, 1. Action. Ah, boy. The nightmare never ends, does it, chat? It really, really doesn't. We got a whole other story to add on top of the big pile of anti-trans legislation being pushed right now, and this one is definitely one of the worst that I've seen. Florida Medical Board to weigh blocking treatments for transgender youth. This is from CBSNews.com. Tallahassee. The Florida Board of Medicine is slated Friday to consider a proposal by Governor Ron DeSantis' administration to bar physicians from providing treatments such as hormone therapy and puberty-blocking medication to transgender youths. So, basically just, you won't be allowed to transition until you're 18, at least in Florida if this goes through. And that includes puberty blockers, which have been proven to be safe and fine and effective for trans youth, taking them off of that too, not allowing them to take it. Now, we're going to read the whole article, but I want to stop here for just a moment, and I want to tell all of you, this was always the plan. This has always been the plan, and they've got more up their sleeve. Florida's first move, or if we go all the way back to like the whole trans freak out thing, the biggest issue that for a very long time they would straddle onto was the sports thing, because that was something that like the broad majority of people, even trans accepting people, were still a little iffy on whether or not trans women particularly should be allowed to compete against cis women in sports. That's like a very easy issue for the right to just sweep tons of supporters against trans people on, because you can just very easily just say, well, don't you know men are stronger than women? You're a smart person. Use your common sense. You use your common sense. That's how you know we're right. So join our side. Yeah, like, so for a very long time, that was the issue that they would like harp on about. And one of the compromises that was made was that, okay, assuming that you haven't gone through, this is particularly for trans women, assuming you haven't gone through a male puberty and done training through that and gotten the benefit of that, then realistically, there should be no extreme or any really strong or existent like benefit or advantage that a trans woman would have over a cis woman. At least not that would be like nothing that would not otherwise be chalked up to just general variance in the abilities of different people. You know, some people just generally are able to run faster and longer than other people at like a base level without practice, you know. Genetics do play a factor. But as long as, in the case of a trans woman, as long as she does not go through a male puberty and does not train and you know whatnot through that male puberty, there is literally, at least when I've read and research myself, there doesn't seem to be a lot of evidence that there is a advantage there that trans women would have. So we basically came to the conclusion that, okay, so this basically means that if we want to prevent trans athletes from having an advantage over cis athletes, then maybe we should provide trans youths with the puberty blockers that have been proven to be effective and safe. Maybe so they don't go through the wrong puberty. Well, now they're banning it. Isn't that interesting? How are you supposed to not have an unfair advantage as a trans woman in sports if you're not allowed to go on puberty blockers and prevent going through the wrong puberty? How's that? How do you do? You can't. You can't. It was never about there being some sort of inequality in sports. It was never about ensuring there is fairness or analyzing the possibilities of people, the possible cases in which people suffer if we grant more rights and more acceptance to trans people. It was never about that. It was always about taking rights away from trans people. Always. Taking away their ability to get access to healthcare, taking away their ability to transition, taking away their ability to be seen by society as who they truly are. Because if they can take away trans people's ability to transition, essentially, if they can make it illegal, then as far as they're concerned, they can basically erase trans people from society. And worst case scenario, worst case scenario, perhaps dehumanize them enough to make violence against them a broadly acceptable political policy among much of the American population. And that is when the genocide happens. So, this is not the end of their plan. They will continuously, even though it goes entirely against all of their previous claims of just being, a little bit concerned about the trans thing, even though it goes against all of those previous claims back when they felt like their positions had to be a little bit more covered up. They had to, dog whistle more, stay behind the mask more. Now they don't. Now they have enough power consolidated that they can just do it. Donald Trump has brought in a dynasty of wins for the right. And generations are going to live under this Supreme Court. This completely right, conservative stacked Supreme Court, generations are going to live under it. The Republicans that Trump put into those seats are young and have decades and decades and decades and decades and decades left to serve. Unless we pack it, not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. The Supreme Court is going to be rolling back more people's rights, particularly LGBT people's rights. And it's going to continue to happen on a state level like this. You have not seen anything yet. Until Republicans have no ability to gain power anywhere, this is going to continue. And it's going to get much worse. They're going after contraceptives. They're going to go after sodomy. They're going to go after gay marriage. They're going to criminalize abortion. They're going to do everything they do to criminalize all of these things, including especially abortion. And you better believe that if the right people, the right dumb fucking people get into power, the kind of Republicans that back in the day said that you could impregnate a woman with a pencil eraser, those types of Republicans, those are the types of people that end up making it illegal to have a miscarriage. Those are the people that propose fines for having a miscarriage, or God forbid, arrest or jail time and charges for having miscarriages. There are Republican politicians who've made propositions like that. Terrifying shit. They use the idea that they're pro-freedom as a shield against the fact that they're the ones trying to take away as many people's freedoms as they can. Disgusting behavior. The State Department of Health last week filed a petition asking the board, which regulates medical doctors, to start a rulemaking process on the contentious issue. The move came as the State Agency for Healthcare Administration also plans to prevent the Medicaid program from covering such treatments for gender dysphoria. Not surprising. The petition, which is on the agenda for a Board of Medicine meeting in Broward County, proposes what is known as a standard of care that would prohibit patients under age 18 from receiving sex reassignment surgery and puberty blocking, hormone and hormone antagonist treatments. It also would require the older patients sign a consent form and then wait 24 hours before starting such treatments. So even after you're 18 years old, you have to sign a consent form and wait at least 24 hours to get treatment, even once you are 18 if this gets passed. Signed by Department of Health General Counsel John Wilson, the petition pointed to what it said was a lack of quality evidence and certainly no conclusive research to support the medical transition of children to the opposite gender as a treatment for gender dysphoria. This is a simple lie. This is just not reflected by any means in the broader medical consensus. Children do not possess the cognitive or emotional maturity to comprehend the consequences of these invasive and irreversible procedures, the petition said. By the way, I should say that the board of doctors that has been put together here was a board of doctors put together by the Republican administration. This isn't like some, like, board of hardcore academics who have, like, very strong and like, well substantiated and like, good backgrounds and everything. These are just like Ben Carson tier guys. Like we're talking like imagine an entire fucking committee of Ben Carsons. All right, that's what we're talking about here. These are not like well trustworthy doctors that give a shit about the medical consensus or what the DSM-5 says or what the science says. They are very much politically motivated, and yeah, it's going to be very, very, very scary. This is going to pass. This is almost certainly going to pass. But in a July 14th letter to a Board of Medicine, Chairman David Diamond and other board members, a group of professors and clinicians from Yale University, the University of Alabama at Birmingham, and the University of Texas Southwestern, disputed the state's conclusions about treatments for gender dysphoria. The letter also said establishing a standard of care to prevent such treatments would violate legal protections against discrimination and harm tens of thousands of Floridians. So we've got large medical institutions coming out, academic and medical institutions coming out to speak against this. Not surprising. We are concerned that any action by the Board of Medicine to ban or curtail standard medical care in Florida for individuals with gender dysphoria would set a troubling national precedent, the letter said. The federal government defines gender dysphoria clinically as significant distress that a person may feel when sex or gender assigned at birth is not the same as their identity. But treatment for transgender people and youths in particular has become a fiercely debated political issue in Florida and other states. Prominent medical groups and the Biden administration support treatments for gender dysphoria, while many Republicans such as DeSantis have argued the treatments should not be provided to people under 18. This is just the acceptable position to hold right now. Right now, it isn't very socially acceptable to say that transgender adults ought to be denied the ability to transition, because that is a very direct, imposing on the freedom of autonomous adults. However, when it comes to children, it's very easy to, make a whole other case here. It's very easy to get people, worried about the kids and worried about the kids thinking they're trans and accidentally transitioning and then regretting it later. So it's really easy to get people, on board with this kind of stuff, which is why they're sticking with the under 18 thing right now. But they're already sliding it towards the adults. They added a bit in this proposition that even after you're 18, even once you're an adult, you still have to wait 24 hours through a grace period to get treatment, get access to gender-affirming treatment. After, you have to sign a consent waiver first. Now, 24 hours isn't a lot. It's like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll come in tomorrow. But that's still a hurdle. And when they're already starting to put down tiny hurdles in front of adult trans people, or, trying to get treatment, and saying, oh, no, we're just worried about the kids. Well, 2 years ago, it was just worried about trans sports. That was all it was a concern about trans people competing in sports with cis people. That's all it was. That was really the main thing they were complaining about 2 years ago. And now they're talking about banning gay marriage, contraception, and all access to gender-affirming care for minors, regardless of the medical backing it has. They will constantly, you give them an inch, they will take a fucking mile. They will go after adults too. If you are a 28-year-old living in Florida, they're going to do everything in their power to make it illegal for you to get access to gender-affirming care. And you know what they're going to say to you and to the public while they do it? That they're protecting you from making a mistake. That they're keeping you safe from yourself. That's what they'll say to you and to the public. But do you want to know what they'll be saying to their fans? To their follower bases? That you're a pedophile predator that they've prevented from grooming more kids by existing. That's what they'll be saying to their fan bases and their followers at their rallies and stuff. And on Twitter. Last week's petition filed the Board of Medicine was rooted in guidance that the Department of Health issued on April 20th that said treatments such as puberty-blocking medication and hormone therapy should not be used for transgender youths. Florida Surgeon General Joseph Lopado also issued a statement at the time blasting federal directives that back treatment for transgender youths. By the way, like, just because these people are doctors does not mean that what they believe or what they're saying is backed up at all by the broader medical consensus. If you want to know what the broader medical consensus is, how about this? If you don't trust me, because I know that I get a lot of viewers in my videos, it'll just be like, huh, you say that, but what's your proof? Here's my proof. Go Google DSM-5 gender dysphoria or transgender, and go look what the DSM-5 says about gender dysphoria and treatment. It's really not that long. It's like they summarize the basics of it like in like 1 or 2 paragraphs on there. You can literally just bring up a PDF of the entire thing, Control F, search for transgender or gender dysphoria, and see exactly what the current medical consensus is on this entire issue. Reminder, the DSM-5 is, at least here in America, basically the doctor handbook. It is the handbook for medical professionals in general. It has everything from physical ailments to mental everything. Just everything's in there pretty much. It's like the fucking Bible of doctoring. So go check that out yourself if you want to see what the current overwhelming consensus is and not hear what a bunch of conservative doctors that were selected for a committee by Republicans believe. You say that, but the say blue, huh? I have no fucking idea what that's supposed to mean, Crystal Ignition, but okay. It was about injecting political ideology into the health of our children, Lopado said. Children experiencing gender dysphoria should be supported by family and seek counseling, not pushed into an irreversible decision before they reach 18. By seek counseling, they mean conversion therapy. That's what that means. The trans counseling, like all of the research done on this, would overwhelmingly suggest, yeah, if you have gender dysphoria, you need to transition. The Agency for Healthcare Administration, which runs most of the Medicaid program, also, by the way, any doctor who uses these words, it was about injecting political ideology into the health of our children. Like, when doctors are literally doing the injecting political ideology, like the language of a Ben Shapiro fan being used by the supposed doctor, this expert on this issue, should be a red flag. The Agency for Healthcare Administration, which runs most of the Medicaid program, used the Department of Health's health guidance as a springboard to propose a rule that would bar Medicaid coverage for the treatments. In turn, the Department of Health petition last week cited a report that the Agency for Healthcare Administration has used to support its proposed Medicaid rule. I don't know why I'm having such a hard time reading aloud right now. Hey, T. That report, whose authors included doctors and researchers who oppose medical care for gender dysphoria, said the Medicaid program, quote, has determined that the research supporting sex reassignment treatment is insufficient to demonstrate efficacy and safety. But the Yale, the University of Alabama at Birmingham, and University of Texas Southwestern professors and clinicians issued a report last month sharply criticizing the report used by the Agency for Healthcare Administration. Quote, we are alarmed that Florida's healthcare agency has adopted a purportedly scientific report that so blatantly violates the basic tenets of scientific inquiry. Jesus Christ! The professors and clinicians wrote, quote, the report makes false statements and contains glaring errors regarding science, statistical methods, and medicine. Holy fucking shit. Multiple academic and medical institutions came together to write an open letter to the government of the state of Florida and trying their best to sound as professional and like non-insulting as possible, using like their professional, like getting the point across, but in the most light words possible, this is how they had to word it. This should go to show how bad this was. We are alarmed that Florida's healthcare agency has adopted a purportedly scientific report that so blatantly violates the basic tenets of scientific inquiry. That means that the data they use, the stuff they collected, doesn't even follow the scientific method. The report that they are citing to push this thing doesn't even follow the scientific method. Why is that? Because the people that are pushing this shit and trying to take away the rights of trans people don't give a fuck about science. If they did, they would not have the positions they hold. The professors and clinicians continued to write, the report makes false statements and contains glaring errors regarding science, statistical methods, and medicine. And this is basically what Florida is adopting as their entire group to decide how they ought to handle medical situations. Florida is fucked. In preparation for Friday's meeting, the Board of Medicine posted 1,113 pages of documents on its website related to gender dysphoria treatment. Along with the petition, those documents include numerous studies about treatment. The petition is an initial step in a process that would include drawing up the details of a proposed standard of care rule and taking public comment. And that's the end of it. So, things are going to get a lot fucking worse in Florida. It's going to get a lot worse. Things are not getting better. They're not. I don't really know what advice I can give. If you're trans and a minor out there, I used to be really, I talked about this on stream the other day. I used to be really iffy on DIY HRT and DIY puberty blockers, DIY, etc. For youths, because it's like, it would be much preferable to go through a doctor and a medical professional and all of that. But like, once you've met so many fucking trans people who are like 16 or 17 or even like 18 or older, who are still living with their parents or living with family or whatever, who are like unaccepting of who they are and they have to hide that they're trans or whatever, and like they can't get access to HRT or hormone blockers or whatever. It's really hard to be against DIY HRT when you've met and talked to so many people whose only fucking chance is DIY HRT. All the information you need to be informed on DIY hormone replacement therapy. Yep, right there. Cleo just posted in chat a link to DIYHRT.wiki. So if you're looking for anything that could help you with this, then perhaps that website would be helpful. So yeah, DIYHRT.wiki. Puberty can start at different ages based on the person. So that's the thing. There cannot be a set standard of care for this. That's the problem. What Republicans are trying to do when it comes to setting this really rigid standard of care for trans youth and just trans people in general is basically the same reason why conservatives try to create such a rigid definition of racist. You know? Like, you know how when you argue with a conservative, they really, really, really have to try to die on the hill with the only possible definition of racist and the only possible case in which someone is racist is when they openly say that they believe their race is more superior than someone else's race. Like, conservatives will really, really try to rigidly pigeonhole the definition of racism so that, like, nothing really can be racist except for, like, a Klan member burning a black person alive, basically. Like, that's about as, like, besides that, like, even then, I feel like most conservatives would say, well, how do you know he burned that guy because he was black? I mean, come on. There's no evidence that this was a racially motivated crime. Even then, conservatives would try to defend it. But, like, yeah, I don't even know where I was coming from with this. I'm sure I had a good point I was getting to, but I'm just so blown away by the fact that there is an entire team of doctors out there, an entire board of medicine that is basically going to dictate the way that my ex-home state, the state that I grew up in, is going to handle the way that they cover medical things, like as far as the state handles it. And the fact that the doctors on that board are more stupid and wrong than me, whose medical knowledge begins and ends at lifeguard. I can give CPR. I could trach somebody. I could use I can use the fucking shock thing, the AD. I can I can save someone from drowning, but like somehow my research and reading medical papers and the DSM-5 research that you can do on fucking Google with like a little bit of elbow grease and the desire to actually think critically and not just listen to what your favorite political commentator tells you. By the way, don't take my word for any of this shit. Google it. Fact check me. Do it. I dare you. Fact check me. Google it. Don't go to your favorite Ben Shapiro video and listen to what he tells you. Go fact check it. Go find a study, if you disagree with me, that proves it wrong. Go find an overwhelming meta-analysis or overwhelming consensus of studies well, there is none. That's the thing. That's why this is a rhetorical request, that there is none. You'd be wasting your time. Regardless, though, the fact that these fucking quacks, these clowns, these fucking liberals, these I don't know why I call them liberals. Very high right now. These fucking nincompoops are running my fucking state. And the way that it handles caring for people's medical emergencies is absolutely fucking insane. And the fact that there are medical and academic institutions coming together to write open letters to the state's government in which they openly, and in as kind words as they possibly can, and yet they are still scathing, condemn the entire state's handling of this situation and call them out for like the draft they've written up for being just blatantly anti-scientific, goes to show how brave the right has gotten. They are no different than flat earthers. I used to say they're no different than anti-vaxxers because there was a time when being an anti-vaxxer was seen as being one of the most shameful, ridiculous, and like anti-intellectual things you could be. Remember back in the day when like anti-vaxxers were seen as just as dumb as flat earthers, where like everybody, even conservatives, like most conservatives would make memes about like dead anti-vaxxers, dead children, like the edgy memes. Like now, anti-vax is just the standard of the far right, or not even of the far right, just the right in general. Trump was pushing anti-vax shit. Going back to before he was elected, Trump was saying anti-vax shit. They truly are fucking degrading into the most flanderized version of themselves. The right of today is literally the right of like cartoon parodies in the early 2000s and 90s. Like, I don't think I've seen as much open hostility towards LGBT people from the US government towards, queer people in general since like the Reagan era and the AIDS epidemic. Just the outright like, fuck LGBT people, fuck this group of people, they're bad, coming from government officials nonstop. Because that's what's happening. Like when Nancy Reagan would just say, AIDS is a gay disease, and we're not going to try to stop this horrible party disease like that the degenerate gays are getting, and they just completely ignored it. Like that level of like, go fuck yourself, gays, go die. That I haven't seen this level of hatred and animosity since like the Reagan era. The Reagan era is like the last time it was this openly hostile. And we're doing, the monkeypox thing is basically the same thing. Oh my God, I saw this fucking post. There was a guy on the fucking subway with monkeypox who was just on the subway hanging out, because clearly he thought it's the, like, you can't spread it through, it must not, either the guy didn't think it was monkeypox because he's like heard the whole like, oh, it's a gay disease, so you can't get it unless you have gay sex thing, and apparently even if he knows he has it, then apparently he believes that you can only spread it through gay sex, so it's fine to go walking around with monkeypox and like sitting on trains and rubbing up and bumping up against people, because they've been convinced it's a disease that spreads basically exclusively through gay sex, but it doesn't. You can get it from contact. Like him doing that is literally just like the equivalent of some dumb fuck conservative who's been brainwashed into thinking masks don't work and COVID isn't real and coughing on people on the bus. He's basically doing that. And it's because he's been brainwashed, no doubt, by conservatives into thinking monkeypox is the gay sex disease. Another gay sex disease. People have tried to defend the whole like monkeypox as gaypox thing as saying, well, it's not exactly the same as the AIDS epidemic because they're specifically saying that you should get vaccinated if you are gay. So it's actually the exact opposite. And it's like, well, yeah, but now people are saying it's a gay disease, and now people are treating it as though they can only get it if they have gay sex, and they can only spread it if they do. Which is, you know, wrong, and spreading medical misinformation ought to be, you know, something we look down on, I'd guess. NYC requires you have active sex with multiple partners to get the vax. My understanding is that I think it's either or all of these things, of these standards you have to meet in order to get the monkeypox vaccine. Be gay or gender non-conforming, with having and also having had multiple sex partners within the last 2 weeks. I believe that was what it said. It didn't just say you have to be gay or gender non-conforming. I think it said you also have to have had at least like 2 sex partners or 3 sex partners in the last couple of weeks or last month or whatever. And then there was a couple of, it also said just in general, if you've had multiple sex partners, you can get it, I think, as well. And I believe another one was like if you traveled the I forget exactly, but there was standards that were set up, and the ones that everyone was paying attention to were the being gay or gender non-conforming standard. And yeah. Crazy shit. I don't even know how I'm supposed to like end the segment. I don't even know what advice I can give. I guess the DIY HRT thing, get the fuck out of Florida. Get out. If you can get out, then please get out. There's nothing else I can do. I will try to build a fucking rocket and get as many of you guys out of there as possible, okay? We'll yeah, buy a gun. Buy a fucking gun. Go online and figure out how you go through the process to get your permits for gun ownership in Florida. It's probably not too strict. I know it's very strict in well, it's not. I mean, it takes a few months in California, but it probably doesn't take too long in Florida. Maybe like a month or two. So, yeah. Get a gun. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please consider leaving a like, subscribe, ring the bell icon. It helps my channel out more than you even realize, and it's how YouTube knows to actually tell you when I go live or upload new videos so you guys can come watch me. And of course, if you want to support me financially, you can always do so by donating, subscribing, or gifting a sub on my website, xanderhal.com/live, or supporting me on YouTube, Twitch, Streamlabs, StreamElements, or Patreon. This is my full-time job, and without your support, I wouldn't be able to do this for a living, and I'm trying to save up money so I can rent a house up in Seattle and start raising up quail and incorporating that in my content, and takes a lot. So we're saving up for it. So if you want to help out, then feel free to donate. If you want to see my social media, especially my Twitter, which is where all the spiciest memes happen, then definitely go to the link down below and follow my Twitter and all my other social media. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, and have a good one. It's so fucking hot in here. I'm sweating my asshole off. My butt cheeks are all wet from all of this fucking sweat. I need a portable AC in my room. I'm sweating my ass off, and I'm gonna fucking die. Okay, I can't sing. Alright, I just messaged my mom asking her to turn the AC down. Let's hope she does it. Stick some ice cubes in there. Don't have any ice. When the camera is off. What? Too hot here in the Northeast? It is currently, it's actually colder out than usual today. It's 101 degrees today. 101 degrees Fahrenheit here today. Usually around this time of day, it would be about 110 to 115. It's actually starting to cool down out here, believe it or not. 101 is actually a pretty cool day. It's really cloudy out. There's not a lot of sun. Right now there is, but today, for the most of the day, there hasn't been a lot of sun because it's been overcast. So it's actually a pretty cool day of 101. Urban Rescue Ranch dropped a new video an hour ago. Oh shit! Is it about Quandale Dingle and Gort? I love Gort and Quandale Dingle. We can watch the new Urban Rescue Ranch videos after segments as long as we hit at least $100 in donos today. How about that? All right? You boys got to eat, and so does Cherry. Because we've made $15 this stream, which means I'd be paying Cherry today about $3 or $2 at best after today's stream. And I wouldn't be taking much home either today. So if we hit $100 in the dono goal today, then yeah, we will do a reaction to the new Urban Rescue Ranch video after we finish segments. Speaking of, the Crystal Cat, thank you for the $5 donation. I really appreciate that. Very kind of you. Says, Black women primarily impacted by new testosterone rule for Olympics. They are cis females, but since their natural testosterone level is too high, they can't compete. Yeah, I mean, obviously, anytime they try to restrict the rights of trans women, they're just going to end up restricting the rights of cis women too. But yeah. One Piece 34, thank you for the $5. Very kind of you, very base. Says, for everyone, Ratchet and Clank, us know for it anti-capitalism jokes, as well as Ratchet is an alien, and his race was genocided until a few managed to survive with a portal to different dimensions. Interesting. Well, thank you for the $5. I really appreciate that. Thank you, One Piece. Maybe I'll one day play a Ratchet and Clank game. Queef Jerky, thank you for the $6.99. I'm just going to round that up to $7. I really appreciate that. Nice. Said, get Pyad and pee poo poo. Thank you. Thank you for pie-adding me. I love getting pie-added. Let me update the dono goal. Amazing. Let me take a fat hit real fast before we cover this absolute cringe fest. Zan, can you please play Sea of Thieves again? Why, do you want me to teach trans women how to tuck in Sea of Thieves again? Who was there for that? Who was there when I went on a Demon Mama's stream to play Sea of Thieves and teach them how to tuck? It was Demon Mama and two other trans women, and I, a cis man, taught them how to tuck in Sea of Thieves. For those of you guys that don't know, Sea of Thieves, tucking in Sea of Thieves is when you use the lay down on the floor and curl up in a ball emote, like to stow away on another player's ship. So you get behind their like wheel or their captain's chair or their wherever, like a little corner, a dark, dank corner of the ship, wearing dark clothes and stuff like that, and you curl up on the floor, and your character stays completely still while like stowing away on another player's ship, and you wait for them to finish their hard-earned quest with all their hard-earned loot, and then when they're least expecting it, you just fucking stand up and you murk them with the element of surprise. Sink their ship while they're like, respawning, and take all of their loot for yourself. That is tucking. Does black skin work better? Yes, for exactly those reasons my Sea of Thieves character is black. It's just, I don't know what to say, but I mean, when you're trying to blend in under the deck of a ship, all right? I mean, having pale ass white skin's not gonna do you many favors. Is it's simple as that. Periwinkle 43, thank you for the tier 1 sub. I really appreciate that. Just thought I'd sub because I love your content. Hey, I really appreciate that. Very kind. Strategic blackface. Listen, all right. All right, listen. There's no way I'm getting canceled for this because what I'm saying here is absolutely fucking true, okay? Every single black person I've been friends with has at one point in their life, I guarantee it, done the thing with your phone where it's nighttime and then you lean into the screen from like the darkness and then it's like, boo. Every time I've had that done to me. Just a random video pops up in my DMs. Boo. Everyone does that. I'd do it too. Periwinkle 43 with another $5. I have, yeah, of course. Why, of course. Why not? Why wouldn't you? It's literally like the coolest thing that anybody can do is emerge from the shadows. Periwinkle 43, thank you for the $5, says, here's a bit more to add on to the donation goal and to give Cherry an extra $1 or so. Would donate more if it was financially viable. Hey, listen to me. Never donate if you can't afford to. Like Batman, exactly. Never donate if you can't afford to, okay? Don't do it. You look out for number one, all right? Your money needs to go to what you need and what you want. And then if you've got money left over, you can give it to me. But only then, all right? As much as this is my full-time job, and I do really appreciate your donations. They're very kind. They're very generous. And, I do need them to live and all of that. And so does Cherry. Cherry needs them to live as well. It's more important to me that you guys continue to be able to live. Because if you guys don't continue to live and be able to watch my content and all of that, then, well, not only would I feel bad, but also it's kind of a bad business practice in the long term to bankrupt your audience. I feel like, So regardless, from a utilitarian standpoint, as well as from a, moral standpoint, only donate if you can. Thank you. I appreciate it though, Periwinkle. Did I add that $5 already? No, I didn't. Thank you. Very based and kind. Zan's gonna get canceled? No, I'm not. I'm not gonna get canceled for that. I know I'm not. There's no way. It's too fun of a thing to do for it not to have been a true statement. It'd be like saying somebody who can use the Force has never, like, used it to bring their remote to them. Like, it'd be like assuming a Jedi, like a real-life Jedi, has never used the Force to bring a remote to their hand. I'm oppressed from all of this black privilege, I know. Alright, listen, we have to get to the good segments, and the good segment is going to be dunking on white people, ironically enough. Oh my god, I'm so excited for this. I'm gonna have to ask all of you guys to suicide-proof your rooms here, because this is about to get rough for you guys. Whew. If I've had to see it, then you guys too. You guys are gonna have to see this too. Chat. You guys know what to do when I say action, right? 3, 2, 1... action. Chat, I need all of you, and I mean this, I need all of you to suicide-proof your rooms. Because this segment, it's going to make you cringe. And when I say it's going to make you cringe, it's not going to make you cringe a little, it's going to make you cringe hard. Something about that, maybe this won't be the case for all of you, but this fucking Instagram account, when I read the posts, actually makes my skin crawl with, like, cringe. I don't know what it is, but it's just so... there's just something about it that just feels so tone-deaf, that only, like, millennial white woman wine mom energy can really achieve. You know what I mean? only that level of tone deaf, only like a white wine mom can like achieve this level of tone deafness, I feel like. We're going to be talking about the recently viral Mom Life comics. Whew. So you've probably already seen some of these on Twitter already. But more likely than not, you've seen edits of them. We're going to be looking at some of the original comments or comics, and then we're going to be looking at the edits and the memes and all of that, which are very, very funny. First, we're starting with the actual Instagram page. Here it is. So, activate Windows, by the way. This is Mom Life Comics, 220,000 followers, followed by Shoe on Head, fellow MILF chaser. I see Shoe. Damn. Shoe on Head, Cotton 4K, chasing MILFs. You slide into her DMs? Anyway, here it seems. So she's made a post here about the memes. It looks like she's not too happy about the response the internet has had to her comics. When a woman says anything that isn't 100% positive on the internet. The sad thing is, there's like an element of truth to this, but like, and I'm sure she's gotten a lot of hate, but at the same time, I feel like most of the response to this has just been people memeing on her for being cringy. We'll go to the first like comic before this became like a whole viral thing. So I feel like this one is a good one to start with. So basically what this woman does is she makes comics, little crudely drawn comics that are supposed to be like what it's like to be a mom, only it really just is the millennial white woman version of old boomer white men making I hate my wife jokes. It's really just the same thing, only even more cringy. So let's go ahead and watch. Read? I don't know. Recently, my husband and I were unloading groceries from the car. Yes, this is an accurate depiction of our different unloading styles. Now, this is where I call bullshit right off the bat, because me and every single other man on the face of the earth have a inherent drive to bring in as many groceries from the car in one trip. Our laziness doesn't make us just walk in one bag. It makes us want to walk in all the bags at once. This is a fake story. I'm calling it out right here, because no fucking man on earth carries in one bag while their wife carries in this many. It's absolutely flipped. I know that just from dealing with my own like ex-girlfriend and dealing with my mom, I know this is not true. Women do not do this, okay? Like, you are the guys are the ones that are like, one trip or bust! One trip or bust! I will not be a pussy who takes more than one trip. Every single guy that I know, like, ties their fucking self-worth to how many bags of groceries they can carry in one trip, okay? This right here is fucking bullshit, alright? When me and my mom go shopping, alright, she carries, like, her cooler and her purse inside, and maybe like one little bag from the dispensary or the vape store. I'm carrying in like every single finger has multiple bags on it, okay? Because I want to get it done in one trip and have it be done and fucking over with. I see through your deceptive lies, woman. So that's the first one. That one's not even bad. That's like that's just one of like the innocent, like, haha, it's just, you know, quirky complaining about, like just quirky jokes about being in a relationship. That's fine. Yes, trans men are also afflicted with this masculine urge. That's, you know, just another, you know, coin of evidence that trans men are men. This one I have no issue with. This one's not even that cringy, personally. The one that... the one that started everything was this one. One of the many differences between me and my husband. Oh, look, the last ripe peach. I'll save it for the kids. They love peaches so much. No, they don't. Oh, look, the last ripe peach. I'll use it as a special treat in my daily smoothie. Is that his dick? I think that's supposed to be, like, the other leg of his pants, but maybe he's hung. At least he depicts her, or she depicts him as hung. If so, that's at least a little bit flattering. This was the first one, and just something about this, I feel like really just struck rage in me as a man. Call me out if this is just sexism, but like the idea that like men are inferior to women because they have a tendency to see a peach on the this is like I believe this story. I totally believe this story, and this is totally something I'd do. But like, holy fucking shit. Why on earth would you report that you are so much more like, it's not misandry. It's just like the vibe that I get from it is a desire to report to the internet how much more considerate of a parent you are, because when you see a peach sitting on the table, you decide to save it for your kids, but your husband sees an uneaten, seemingly unwanted peach and doesn't literally consider every fucking possible angle at which, like, who could want this peach? Maybe someone else wants it for later. It just seems to be a peach no one wants, so here, maybe I'll eat it because it's a healthy snack. Like, it seems like you, like, have the desire to report to the entire internet how much more thought you put in to every single little action you do and how much better of a person it makes you than your husband. And that is a very, very common repeating trend in all of these. They get pretty crazy. We're sitting down to eat breakfast. My husband is still in the kitchen. I say, will you grab a bib for Teddy? He says, where are the bibs? Very, very simple question. Very simple question. Just like, yeah, sure, hun, where are the bibs? What I want to say in response, they're in the same place they've been for the past 5 years, in the same place I put them every time I washed them and put them away. Presumably the same place you've gotten them from 1,000 times before. Unless, of course, you've never gotten either of our kids a bib in the past 5 years. Calling bullshit on this one as well. Women are fucking lying when they say they put things the same place they always do every single time. That is fucking bullshit, and that is a lie. Women do not put things in the same place they say, they like the same place every single time like they say they do. That I am Squad W giga chatting it out here. We're going full sexist on this one. That is a lie, okay? Women are never telling the truth when they say that, okay? They just aren't. Yeah, getting incredibly angry at someone for being... Listen, I find that men do tend to be more forgetful than women, and women do tend to get, like, frustrated about it, but, like, in the cabinet. That's all you have to say, in the cabinet. Even if it's frustrating that he keeps forgetting, I don't know why you feel the need to, like... Why are you enraged? Why, like... this is the kind of shit with my own mom that made me scared to ask for like extra instructions on a task. You know? Like when I'd be like, hey mom, I'm doing the dishes like you asked. Where would you like me to put the bowls when I'm done with them? And then my mom would get mad and be like, in the same place they always go. What are you, a fucking idiot? It's like, I'm sorry for asking a clarifying question to make sure this thing gets done, that I'm doing for you gets done easier. Like, it's not even that too. It's the fact that she's asking him to do something for her. He's asking for help, like just literally, where? Just asking, where's the thing you want me to get for you? And that's too much. That is an enraging question to her. I don't know, it just feels very, very, very much like it. This one just feels like bitching about your husband to the internet. Like, literally no different than the I hate my wife jokes. Yeah, literal woman moment. Where's my favorite one? My favorite one isn't, where is it? I need to find it. I quote tweeted it the other day on Twitter because it was just so unbelievable to me. Is it an older one? Before kids? When we have kids, we're definitely going to serve them the same things we eat, so they'll learn to eat everything, and we won't have to make a bunch of different meals. Oh, yeah, absolutely. After kids, mommy, I'm so hungry. Dinner's almost ready. You want chicken nuggets, the bow noodles with olive oil and sprinkling of Parmesan cheese, some extra firm blueberries, no mushy ones, the one sliced baby carrots, Newman's oil and vinegar salad dressing. What? Bro. I don't know, dude. Like, if your kids, sometimes you gotta fucking... I'm sorry. Do you know what the rules were when I was a kid? If I didn't finish my dinner, that was breakfast. And if I didn't eat it for breakfast, that was lunch. And that's what it was until that food was literally bad and you couldn't eat it anymore. Like, especially when I was younger and we were poor as fuck. Like, kids' taste buds are different though. No, I'm sorry, but like, good parenting is sometimes forcing your kids to eat food that's new or that they don't like. Like, you can't... That's a good way to give a kid a eating disorder. I think there's a very, like, I think there's a pretty obvious line to cross over force feeding your kid food that's just, like, miserable and they don't like to eat, and, like, making your kids try new things at least a couple times, okay? Like, I think that, like kids will literally just decide they don't like a food for no reason. It is a thing, and sometimes you gotta, like, make them eat it and try it, and then and then they'll like be like, oh, it happens. Come on. Parents in chat all know what's up. Every parent in chat knows exactly what's up. Your kid's like, no, I don't want that. Okay, I want more. Like, come on. Like, you can't... I'm not saying that's what this parent is doing. I'm not doing like armchair parenting here, but like, this comic is cringy because you should not give in to this extent with your parents' like pickiness. Like, I don't know, or with your kids' pickiness. Like, sometimes it's like your brother's having dino nuggets, you're having dino nuggets too. You're both 5 years old. Every kid likes dino nuggets. You're just saying you don't want them because you're trying to stress me out and get attention. Sometimes kids will legitimately just say they don't like food because they want attention and they want to make their parent cook more for them. Like, that's a real thing. Children really are just little attention-seeking assholes sometimes. But, like, that means the proper response is to, like, not even discipline your kid, but, like, to be a little bit assertive and say, no, you're eating dinner. I'm not, like... If you stay, like, literally, can you imagine, like, the kind of parent, and I knew parents like this when I was in school. I could not even fucking imagine it. I had friends in school who would, like, their parents would spend, like, all night making dinner, and they'd decide they wouldn't want any, and they would grab some chips and eat that for dinner instead, and their parents would just be fine with it. I could not imagine. Dude. You don't eat, like, some snacks from the fridge in this household when I was a kid. When there's dinner being made. Oh my god. Wait, where's the one that I wanted to find? Here it is. This is the one. Guys. This is the one that really just sent me. This is the one that just fucking sent me. Me going to a different part of the house from my kids and husband. Okay, everyone, I'm going to go take a quick shower and I'll be back in about 10 minutes. Ben, please watch the kids. Kids, if you need anything, your dad is right here. I'm going to be in the shower and I'm going to lock the door so I won't be available. I'll be back soon. Can I come? Please don't take a long time. Can I have some more milk? Mommy, can you read me a book? My husband going to a different part of the house from me and the kids. He just goes? What? I don't... Like, listen, maybe there's some parents in chat that, like, can argue with me here, but, like, as far back as I can remember... My mom would do the same shit. As far back as I can remember, I'd just be sitting watching TV or playing video games, and the last thing I want in the world is to be like interrupted by my mom, and she just come in and be like, "Hey, I'm getting in the shower. Here's like a 30-minute lecture on everything that you possibly need to do if there's an emergency." And I'm just like, "Holy shit, mom! Please just say you're taking a shower. Please just say you're going to take a shower. I don't need like a fucking briefing on what to do if like the nukes drop. Okay? I don't need to get like the brief on every fucking possible horrific scenario that could happen while you're in the shower. Jesus fucking Christ. Like, oh my lord." My brother does that. He doesn't give a rat's ass about our dad leaving, but he hates our mom leaving and actively tries to get rid of me. My cousin used to freak out and cry every time her mom left. Well, like, the interesting thing to me is the idea that the husband, like, her husband's a real prick. Oh shit. We got people getting the opposite impression from this. The internet disagrees. If we go to I can't stop laughing at this because I've never once played a Sims game in my life, nor have I ever like given a shit about The Sims. It looks like a really boring game to me. But I watched a video last night that was called I forced an incel to live with a Chad in The Sims, and it was literally a masterpiece of a YouTube video, and it was really really fucking funny, and now that I understand the context of like that this can actually happen in The Sims. Like you can literally just have your baby on fire and the mom just sitting at the computer like ignoring it. That makes this meme so much funnier than I would have thought of it before seeing that video, I gotta say. The internet is absolutely roasting this woman. Absolutely roasting. Let's look at the recent tweets about it. Does the husband of the Mom Life Comics lady know how much his wife fucking hates him? I think it's entirely possible the woman behind Mom Life Comics made a few comics during a rough spot in her marriage, got supportive attention, then Dilbert-like became trapped in producing endless variations of the same content, even as her actual marriage improved. That's a bit of an armchair view of their relationship. A lot of it's like this really bizarre, like, their relationship is toxic and miserable, but I don't even think that's like a fair reading of their relationship. Like, the things that she complains about, or like the things that she like posts, aren't even like toxic relationship things. They're just like stresses that are likely to come about from raising kids as like millennials in 2022. Like it's not even like anything fucking crazy, and their relationship doesn't even seem that dysfunctional if like these are the most problematic things that happen in it. But like people are taking this as being indicative of like an extremely, they just have different personalities. It's not even that. I think it genuinely just is like a tenant. Like, listen, let's not pretend like guys don't have a tendency in like the parenting, like dads don't tend to like, in the vast majority of circumstances, just kind of leave everything to the mom because the mom will handle it. Like dads generally tend to like not be the ones who wake up first when the baby starts crying. Like there's literally like evolutionary, like chemical things in most like moms' brains that compel them to be more attentive towards their children. Like it legitimately, there is a grain of truth to that. where like dads can be a little bit like, yeah, you get the baby, you change the diaper. I don't know. That does seem to be a common thing, but there is no, as Rico Rebelde says, even though they're disagreeing with a take that I don't have, because they're doing that thing that my chatters like to do where they think I have a take that I don't. There is no evidence that suggests that fathers are worse parents than mothers. However, there is very strong scientific evidence of things like, for example, that a baby's whine is literally biologically inherently like wired in most cis women's brains to wake them up and to get their attention way more quicker than like the noise would to a man. Like most cis women, and I think this might even be true of a lot of trans women too, like assuming the same thing is like basically overwhelming amounts of the time brain scans of trans women and trans men seem to show them having like chemically and structurally extremely, if not the same brains basically to the gender they identify with. So it wouldn't surprise me if this is the case as well. Men, like the specific tone and pitch of a baby's cry and whine, like immediately gets women's attention. Like cis and trans women just immediately, like it's like a like they've done brain scans of it. It takes quite a few seconds more to register and like get the attention when it comes to a man. Like literally there are biological like evolutionary things in us that make us want to take care of a child, women especially so, when upon hearing the sound of a baby in distress. That is a real thing. I'm not saying it means that moms are better parents than dads or whatever. I'm not saying that. It's just a thing. What about NBs then? I don't fucking know. Could be either. Depends on how they, like, there are mask presenting NBs that like that are like he, they, that probably wouldn't be like impacted by it, but then there are more like femme presenting NBs that are like they, them, or she, they that might, I don't know. It depends. Like how more, like just because someone's non-binary doesn't mean they don't like still kind of like lean a little bit more on the spectrum of gender identity, more towards femme or more towards mask, and that doesn't like impact the way that they go about like it's complicated. Not every non-binary person is like a complete, like I feel like when people think of non-binary person, they think of like an androgynous like cyborg. You know, like that's like peak that's passing non-binary. It, like to be a non-binary gigapassoid is to reach a level of like complete indistinguishable androgeneity. And maybe for some people it is, but like non-binary isn't like gender isn't literally like binary women, or like it's not literally like women who are like super femme and then men who are super mask and then like non-binary people who are like literally just androgynous in the middle. It's not how it works. People seem to like kind of treat it that way though. Pretty cringe. Anyway, people are memeing on this shit like crazy, and it's pretty hilarious. One of the many differences between me and Kramer. Oh, look, the last ripe peach. I'll save it for the kids. They love peaches so much. Oh, look, the last Mackinac peach. My taste returned just in time to taste one. Okay. I'm so excited for my birthday because it's the day I won't have to do dishes or make lunches. Fuck your birthday, motherfucker. This is your death day. I will end your entire bloodline. Okay, people are kind of over exaggerating how much she seems to hate her husband. What kind of drugs do you take, Mark? I did not hit her. It's not true. It's bullshit. I did not hit her. It's not. Oh, hi, Mark. Mom Life's Comics Marriage. Dee Dee, there's some nasty ass coffee. I hate you so much, but the pussy gamer team. Oh, God. Mom Life Comics presents My Dumb Bitch Husband Can't Read My Mind. True. Okay, listen, I'm sorry. But like, this isn't just sexism, right? This isn't just like the internet being sexist and hating women for like complaining on the internet, right? Because I don't want to fall into my internalized sexism. I have to be careful, all right? I'm a man and I hate women a lot, so I have to be very, very careful not to fall into the accidental misogyny. So you know, it's a constant struggle. Straight people date someone you actually love challenge, go. Impossible. Hey, listen, okay? There are memes about gay people rushing into relationships as well. You ever heard of U-Haul lesbians? No, you don't? It's literally a stereotype that lesbians will go on like 3 dates and then move in together. Like, that's where that comes from. Like, 3 dates and then moving in together. So, the U-Haul. Like, I think the meme is like the third date, like third base for lesbians is going out to rent the U-Haul truck. I think I've literally heard, that's literally like the meme. That is a true stereotype in my personal experience. Guys, I live in Palm Springs, California, okay? I'm pretty sure they're putting something in the water that's turning people gay here, okay? Like, that's the degree, okay? There is pride flags, furry pride flags, trans pride flags, progress flags, dream sexual pride flags, Vosh pride flags. There, everything all over the place here. Yeah, frankly, lesbians are keeping U-Haul as an entire company alive. Does Xanderhal read Twitch chat? Not really. I prefer if you come over to website chat, because that's what I generally typically actually read. I really do want to get the big dream sexual flag and just have it up in the background. I feel like it'd be fucking hilarious. What's dream sexual? Google it. Just Google it. Google the dream sexual pride flag. Anyway, if you enjoyed this segment, dunking on cringy, ridiculous mom life comics, then please consider dropping a like, subscribe, and ring the bell icon if you haven't already. And of course, if you want to see more from me, you can always follow my social media, linked down below in the description, especially my Twitter. That's where all the spiciest memes happen. And of course, if you want to support me financially, you can also donate, subscribe, or gift a sub. On my website, xanderhal.com/live, link in the description. And you can support me through YouTube, Twitch, Streamlabs, Stream Elements, and Patreon. With all that said, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and have a good one. Yeah. There's a real dream sexual that falls on the ace spectrum that had its name stolen by DSMP. What the fuck did you just say to me? I'm checking Twitter. Any good memes? No good memes. Peepo sad. Peepo sad. All right. Time to read some donos. Alex, go one stream without being aphobic challenge. What's a phobic? Destiny retweeted me. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, T. Is he trying to get it? I think he's trying to get it, T. He started a new quest. He started a new quest. Hot take that will get me canceled. DGGers ain't so bad. I kind of like some of them. Oh, is that your tweet that got retweeted? Oh no. You're in his sights now. You're in his sights now, T. Aphobic, bigoted towards asexual people, goddammit. When have I ever been bigoted towards asexual people? I'm too old for him? No, Destiny's a sex addict. Queef Jerky, thank you for the $5. I really appreciate that. Very based, very kind. Says, Lamau, who the fuck is Alex? Well, don't ask Keemstar that question, please. Thank you for the $5. Queef Jerky with the amazing name. Thank you for the 5 tier 1 gifted subs. I really appreciate that. Says Says, I'm doing pretty okay financially right now, so here's a little dono on behalf of anyone who can't. Get wrecked, Whiteys. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Very base. Says, I'm sure that reptilian agent Pesky Augusta Nora Inta X Hippie and Roomy Red all really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Very, very kind of you. Very based. Very based and pog even. Thank you. Avalon of Babylon, thank you for the tier 1 gift sub to Emu Anon 34. I really appreciate that. Says, and lo the strummer was allowed to eat. Thank you, my friend. Very, very kind. Very, very fucking based. Did I count that one? Yes, I believe I did. Yeah, I believe I did, right? Yeah. Yeah, okay. That should be 77. I'm really bad at keeping track of donos. One day, it'll be an automated system. And this will no longer be an issue. But not today. Do you want me to update the donate command to make it stand out more? Because it kind of gets lost in the sea of links? Honestly, yeah, Pillow. That'd actually be really helpful. Thank you. God, my jaw just won't pop. Come on. Nah. Better take a while for that to finally give way. Damn. Do you want me to update the donate? Oh, yeah, I already read that. God, I'm fucking stoned. All right. Chat. It's time for some hilarious fucking shit. You guys know what to do when I say action, right? 3, 2, 1, action. You know, today is one of those days. One of those days where I get to say that I got canceled for being right. For those of you guys that don't remember, about a month ago it would have been, maybe even more by now. Yeah, probably 2 months ago now. God, it's been a while. About 2 months ago, when the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial was kind of, popping up and was starting, and I started to kind of look into it, I pretty quickly came to the conclusion that the evidence that was being showed heavily suggested that Johnny Depp and Amber Heard were in a mutually abusive relationship, and that both of them were probably, being abusive pieces of shit. And this take got me an extraordinary amount of hate. There were people on Johnny Depp's side saying, yada yada, Amber Heard's an evil bitch, so on and so on. And then you had my fans, which were screeching about how what Amber Heard did was quote-unquote retaliatory abuse, which is justifiable. And it was just really an either side type thing. Like, you had to pick a side. You were either pro Amber Heard or you were pro Johnny Depp. What? People can be mutually abusive? Yes, they can. And the idea was that, it was retaliatory abuse, which made what she did not bad, I guess, was the excuse from people in my audience. I legitimately, had to delete tweets over this because of how much shit I got for saying that Amber Heard and Johnny Depp were probably both abusive pieces of shit towards each other. That's how much shit I got at the beginning of the trial when I came out with this take. But who would have fucking thought Xanderhal would get proven right for having a take that he'd get canceled for initially? When has that ever happened to me? When has that ever happened? Anyway, his fans truly fucked up. Johnny Depp fans reportedly paid $3,000 to unseal court documents to fight Amber Heard. rumored to have revealed the actor has erectile dysfunction and attempted to release Amber Heard's revenge porn on Amber Heard. Recently, over 6,000 pages of court documents from Johnny Depp and Amber Heard's trial were unsealed and posted on Twitter. The documents, which apparently were unsealed after Johnny Depp's fans paid $3,000 to obtain information against Amber Heard, exposed Johnny Depp and information he tried to keep out of the public's eye. So this was information that Johnny Depp did not want public, that Johnny Depp fans paid in order to make public because they thought it would reveal more dirt on Amber Heard. The files reveal new shocking information about the trial and revealed a lot of evidence that was excluded in the court. These are still rumors, as no one has confirmed if the documents are official, and they were only leaked on Twitter. However, this is getting a lot of fucking attention, and nothing has really come out yet to debunk this, so I guess I'll update you guys if this ends up being not legit, but the documents revealed that Johnny Depp's team wanted to use Amber Heard's nude pictures in court. The document revealed that Johnny Depp's team wanted to present Amber Heard's nude pictures as evidence in court. However, Amber Heard's legal team opposed this by stating, Mr. Depp inappropriately seeks to introduce evidence of the following irrelevant personal matters. 1. Nude pictures of Amber Heard. 2. Amber Heard's sister's Whitney's reality show video. 3. Whitney and Amber's past romantic relationships. 4. Amber's brief stint as an exotic dancer years before she met Mr. Depp, and Mr. Depp attempting to frivolously and maliciously suggest or imply that Miss Heard was at one time an escort. So Johnny Depp tried to submit essentially revenge porn, as well as outing the information that Amber Heard was once I guess an exotic dancer, and then also a rumor that she was an escort in the court proceedings, which would all be public. Interesting. The document also revealed that Amber Heard was apparently offered millions of dollars during their divorce proceedings, but she declined it, stating that it's not about the money. The document stated that Johnny Depp suffers from erectile dysfunction as well, though Mr. Depp would rather not disclose his erectile... This is directly from the court doc. Though Mr. Depp would rather not disclose his erectile dysfunction condition, such condition absolutely is relevant in sexual violence, including Mr. Depp's anger and use of a bottle to rape Amber Heard. Mr. Depp's erectile dysfunction makes it more probable that Mr. Depp would be angry or agitated in encounters with Amber Heard, and that he would resort to a bottle. This relevance is not substantially outweighed by the danger of unfair prejudice. The erectile dysfunction is not likely to generate a strong emotional response that would make it unlikely that the jury could make a rational evaluation of its proper evidentiary weight. So this entire, the fact that he had erectile dysfunction and it was making him, sexually frustrated and angry, and that was supposedly his reasoning for raping Amber Heard with a bottle, that was completely left out of court, supposedly, if these are real court documents, because the idea that he had erectile dysfunction and thus that would motivate him to commit a sexual crime is not enough in court, enough to show it. They decided it wasn't strong enough evidence that he would do this, and that if they showed it to a court, then because of oh yeah, some guy with erectile dysfunction, yeah, he'd rape a girl, they didn't want that sort of biasing the jury, I suppose. Shocking information has come into the limelight, as the document also stated that the actor suffers from erectile dysfunction, and this evidence was not presented in the court, the document said. I don't care about him having erectile dysfunction. It's not really, impotent rage is a possible reason why he'd do the things that he's been accused of, but it's not really... The fact that he has erectile dysfunction is more or less mostly being spread as a way of embarrassing him, than really being, a crime or any evidence to him hurting her. Xanderhal, wait, if Amber accused him of rape, why would this not be shown? She did accuse him of rape, didn't she? She did. I remember that being a whole thing in court. She accused him of sexual assault. The document further revealed more information about Johnny Depp and Amber Heard's trial. Johnny Depp produced multiple partial audio recordings that begin and end in the middle of a sentence, and the recordings were created in September 2015 and then modified in June 2016, and again one day before their production. But Depp only produced the modified versions. This raises significant concerns of manipulation, alteration, and relation. The Fantastic Beasts actor also somehow managed to convince the court that he should not be subjected to an independent medical examination, mainly because, quote, Mr. Depp is not alleging harm based on a specific physical or mental injury. Johnny Depp's team claimed. They further stated that Mr. Depp does not allege a specific case of action for intentional or negligent infliction of emotional distress, does not assert that Miss Heard's actions caused him a specific psychiatric injury, and does not claim that Miss Heard's actions caused him to experience unusually severe emotional distress. The thread on Twitter revealed a lot more things about their trial. However, all these are still rumors, as no one has confirmed if these documents are actually official. Keep this in mind, chat. This is the original thread. This right here. Johnny Depp fans paid $3,000 to unseal the court documents just to get dirt on Amber, but ended up unintentionally exposing Depp and information he tried to keep private instead, a thread. Now, this is like some paparazzi Twitter account, but like, well, large tweets and threads like this have gotten lots of attention before and been completely fake. This is like... This doesn't look fake. In conclusion, then, but like, it does not look fake. Dick riding by paying $3,000 to help someone you don't know. It absolutely sounds realistic that Johnny Depp dick riders would raise $3,000 to uncover court documents to get dirt on Amber Heard that would end up backfiring on Johnny Depp. This all sounds very believable to me, and it all looks very legit. And the amount of attention it's gotten without being debunked at this point, I'll give it a few days before I post this segment. Make sure nobody comes forward to either debunk or perhaps even, confirm this information before I put out a full segment, like a video on it. But it seems pretty real to me. Everything that I saw of the trial suggested to me that Johnny Depp is a drug-using, narcissistic, alcoholic, violent asshole who has no ability to contain himself when he gets angry. And it's heavily suggested. I feel quite confident that he is a violent person when he gets angry. There are a lot of people that testify that he would get angry and violent and loud when he's mad. And that, his drug use and his alcoholism got in the way of his job and his ability to function, and that he struggled with these things. And there was also a lot of evidence that Amber Heard did some fucking vile stuff, including hitting Johnny Depp, that were also abusive. So what it all comes off as to me is that Johnny Depp and Amber Heard are two extremely toxic, wealthy, powerful people. Maybe not on the same level, but still, compared to most people, very, very wealthy and powerful people with lots of money. And because of that, I'm sure because of that, they've got tons of narcissism and feel like they're the fucking top of the world, and they're, better than everybody else to some degree. I mean, it's very common among celebrities. And now they got into a really toxic relationship, which happens in normal relationships as well, only not because they're celebrities and because there's so much on the line over it. Now it has become a whole career situation as to which one of them in the public eye was seen as correct in all of this. Johnny Depp needs the world to see him as a maligned victim of abuse by a woman in order for his entire career to recover to anywhere near the extent that it was before all of this. And Amber Heard needs the world to see her as a poor innocent woman who is being, beaten by her husband every day. Her, and just, doing the only time that she would ever like hit back being to defend herself, for the world to see her as in the right. So both of them have very strong financial and career-based incentives to make themselves seem like saints in horrible situations, in which, and I want to make it very clear here, in situations like this, it is rarely black and white. It is rarely as black and white as either of their sides are trying to make their stories out to be. Neither of their stories are as realistic and probable to me as both of them being pieces of shit. Neither side of their stories seem as probable as both of them being in the wrong to me. After all the trials, after all the court cases, after reading over this, I'm quite confident, personally, that the most likely scenario over both of their stories, they're both pieces of shit. Anyway, this is basically the Twitter thread that kind of summarizes everything, and I'll read over it for you guys. Xanderhal, someone legit hopped in my DMs and tried to argue that my take on the trial was wrong when all I did was retweet something about the legal precedent, set. Like, the dick eating is crazy. Listen, the pussy eating and dick riding is fucking phenomenal. It's out of this fucking world. The people who are either like diehard pro Amber Heard or diehard pro Johnny Depp will literally go after you like a wild coyote if you suggest their guy is wrong. Yeah, I refuse to believe. I refuse to believe the idea that like that like most of these scenarios are as black and white as a lot of people like to make them out to be. They're usually not. They're usually not. Domestic abuse is just such a fucking complicated thing, and when domestic abuse happens from one end, it can sometimes even manifest from the other end as well, and it can just lead into such a shit show that like, yeah. Fuck celebrity drama bullshit. Like, I hate it too, but something you have to remember is when you act like you're above it, it's an L. You make the left take an L. I'm sorry, chat, but the left has to start getting more shameless. All right? Vosh said something recently on his stream that's absolutely fucking true. Way too many lefty content creators in this space treat their political engagement like they come down from Mount Olympus every 6 months, drop a, very pretentious video, and then they disappear for the rest of the year. Like once or twice a year, maybe, we get a video from like ContraPoints, Abigail Thorne, etc. The videos are like very nice and well presented, but then at the end of the day, all they do is just kind of exist out there, and meanwhile the right is literally shamelessly adopting every single social issue and every single like issue that comes up in pop culture, politicizing it, and then convincing people on it exactly the same way they did back during the Gamergate days. 100% we cannot see discussion of this topic to the right. Yep. When you guys act like you're way better than everybody else, like when you act like you're better than the people who are interested in celebrity drama, you actually reveal to me how incapable of self-awareness you are. Hypers in chat, if you think that this Amber Heard Johnny Depp stuff is stupid, Hypers in chat. Hypers in chat if you think this is stupid celebrity drama. All right. Now, how many of you watched or eagerly awaited my response to Lonnie's twit longer? How many of you watched the drama between Vosh and Cat Black? Or any other BreadTuber streamer drama or whatever? It's all the same shit, only instead of being like massive millionaire Hollywood celebrities, it's YouTubers and streamers. It's the same stuff. There's just not as much of a cringe culture around it as there is for like reality TV and mainstream celebrities. And so you don't realize it. You have no self-awareness. You literally don't. It's the same fucking shit. It's the same shit. It's all the same parasocial shit, okay? You're just younger and part of a more hip brand of content. Xanderhal, it's funny because people who hate you and Vosh are a lot of the time more invested in you guys' drama than a lot of your own fans, but they claim to be above it. Oh, of course, it's all projection. Yeah, at the end of the day, it's fine to admit that you are a victim of the natural tendency humans have to gossip and be curious. Gossiping, curiosity, these are things that helped humans survive for millions of years. Our ancestors survived because of these skills for millions of years, okay? There is a reason why we get that itch in the back of our fucking head to hear gossip or to be caught up on the most recent drama. It's just part of us. We just feel the need. It helped us survive for millions of years. Hundreds of years ago, when we were like primates up in the trees and everything, literally hundreds of years ago, when we were primates up in the trees and everything, our ability to communicate and gossip among our troop is how we were able to climb the social ladder and do things like get monkey pussy and produce monkey babies to make more potential humans. Yeah, roughly 300 years ago. Amber Heard was in the wrong in every single way. Just look at it. Thank you, Marvel fan 1969. Thank you for your impeccable input. I'm not even going to try to argue against what you just said because anybody who's even watched the court case knows how fucking stupid what you just said is. Like, we just look... Okay. Also, your name is Marvel fan 1969. I love Twitch chatters. Chad, I know you guys are our army of autists because you care more about Zan's word choice than the actual analogy, lol. Yeah. Yeah. Drama feeds content, content feeds media, media feeds income. And everybody needs money. Money makes the world go round. Sure does. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, please consider leaving a like, subscribe, ring the bell icon if you haven't already and you want to see more from my channel, and of course, make sure to follow my social media link down below. And if you want to support me financially so I can keep on making content for you guys and I don't end up starving in a gutter, dying of heat exhaustion and whatever else could possibly kill me. If you don't want me to, in best case scenario, be managing a Cinnabon in Omaha in 1 year, then please consider donating, subscribing, or gifting a sub on my website, xanderhal.com/live, or support me on YouTube, Twitch, Streamlabs, Stream Elements, or Patreon. With all that said, though, thank you so much for watching. I love you all very much, and have a good one. Cherry, I'm too hungry for gaming or another segment, I'm afraid. So instead, we're going to be watching the new Urban Rescue Ranch video and wrapping up stream. Gort and Quandale learn to watermelon?
Let me get...
Cuddleen, thank you for the 5 tier 1 gifted subs. I really appreciate that. Very kind of you. Ooh, my tummy just went a rumbly. Hummingbird update? Yeah, them hummingbirds are being really cute right now, but the sun is literally setting over the mountain right now, so if I open my blinds to look at them, it would literally just be a, like, my face would just be blinded in bright light from the sun directly shining through my window. Like, it's literally like if I looked through my blinds right now, it would just be the sun beating into my eyes. I can't do it. So, yeah, the hummingbirds are out there. I can see their shadows through the blinds, like, shining through, and they're flying around and stuff, but I can't see them right now. But they're just out there. They're having fun. We got them a fountain so they can get water and cool down during the heat of the day. And I hung up a bunch of wicker hummingbird basket nests that are specifically for hummingbirds and filled them up with peat moss. Like bought peat moss online and filled it up with that for them to use as like the base for their nest once they start their nesting season. So yeah, hopefully they end up, once it starts being their nesting and mating season, they end up using them. Cuddling! I really do appreciate that, though. And I'm sure that Crystal Ignition, Gnome Gnome, Tungsten Wastrel, Pepsi Man, and Krogan Pappy all really appreciate it. Thank you very, very much. Let me update the dono goal really quick. Okay, I pull up. Hop out at the after party. You and all your friends, yeah, they love to get naughty. Sipping on the hen, I know you love that Bacardi. 1942, I take you back in that Rari. Okay, I pull up, hop out at the after party. Okay. Unfortunately, he can't sing that because he'll get copyright claimed on YouTube, and he needs the ad revenue for some reason. Something I don't understand. Listen, okay? There's no way Uncle Ben isn't making $10K a month in ad revenue minimum. I know that I'm sure he spent a lot of money and spends a lot of money on his animals, but like when he was saying that his main source of income are the Ayakamani eggs that he was selling, I looked him up, and like Ayakamani eggs sell for like a few $100s an egg if they're fertilized and high likelihood of hatching, but like your boy was getting over 1 million views per video, at least a couple 100,000, and he uploads like every 2 or 3 days. So like, I have a hard time believing that his main source of income at that time even was those eggs. This guy right now is making minimum 10K a month from ad revenue. So that always that confused me. I didn't understand that.
Let me get the dirt from your toes. There you go.
What are your thoughts on that Wanderbill?
Look at those folds. I could be eating Quandale Dingle alive right now.
Thriving, even.
Don't choose violence, Kevin. Don't choose violence.
Jesus, this is going to be a good fucking episode.
He's gone. He abandoned us. So I, a single parent, have to take these guys swimming by myself. Go ahead, hop up there.
I love
Hop up.
that.
As you can see, Mom, I did in fact clean my kitchen, and apparently capybaras can eat the tops of these, but I don't know if I'm going to give it to them yet. This is what I do when I want them to cooperate and go with me outside. I take a bite. And I sit down with them. They come right over and they start to nibble. Because they're rodents, they need vitamin C, and they really like the taste of sugary things. Like I said, you guys, capybaras are the world's largest rodents, and they are semi-aquatic, so they need to swim regularly. So today we're going to be taking them out and giving them a little swim. Now that I've won their hearts, I'm going to slowly bring the apple over to my lap. That way I can pick them up and take them outside. And the best part is, while one of them is eating it, I can take the other one, and then he won't be phased. See, this is Gort. Gort is a lot more easy to work with, and
They're fucking huge. These are babies. These are baby capybaras. Wait, you don't know? These are baby capybaras. They get like 6 times bigger than this. They get big. They get about large dog sized when they're full grown.
Quandale here is a little bit more skittish. We're gonna have to pick him up either way. Okay, now I have acquired a Gort. He doesn't like to be held or picked up, but that's okay. I'm gonna be taking him outside. And now, because of that apple there, Gort doesn't even care at all. I could be eating Quandale Dingle alive right now, and Gort would still just be munching away. Hey, good morning, Kanye. Right now, Quandale's thinking, man, it's about time you gave me a little bit of vitamin C. Whoa, is that hit rapper and artist
the baby?
As you can see, I had friends over to swim, so I had to power wash under here, and the baby's...
I every time I see the kangaroo just laying there being adorable, it makes me want to have a kangaroo. For no other reason than just to be able to shake its hand. Every time he shakes the kangaroo's hand, I'm always just like, oh, I want a kangaroo. I want to shake a kangaroo's hand.
He's already pooped a ton. So, baby, would you like to meet my son, Gort? The baby, would you like to meet my son, Gort? Baby, here, shake my son's hand. This is Gort.
I love
Shake his hand.
animals
I'll
so
start by
much,
putting
dude.
Quandale in here just so I can have him over here by
Animals are so
himself.
cute.
Looks like he dropped the apple and couldn't find it. Even after I just stole his sibling, he still wants to eat the apple, you guys. And he'll probably even come sit on my lap to do it. Come on, yes, here he comes. There is our adorable Gort, munching away on this adorable little apple. Pining away. Man, this is only going to get harder and harder as they grow. But also, guys, I'm
Oh my
working on a
God,
mullet.
wait.
What do you think? Oh, here comes
When those things get to be German Shepherd sized, oh god.
Kevin to attack me. Oh, here he's coming. Kevin, good morning. Would you like to meet my son, Quandale? What do you think? Stay away. This is my son.
Kevin will eat
Okay, we
Quandale.
made it. I'm going to start by, whoa, is that hit rapper and artist, the baby? I'm putting Gort right in here. There you go, son. Have a nice little swim. I'm going to clean some of the bugs out while I can. Oh, there's a little grasshopper there. The baby, how's about you come swimming with us? So this is the method I use to make sure they don't escape whenever I'm trying to get them in to swim. Look at this precious baby boy. All right, son, here you go. Enjoy your swim. Look at these boys just vibing around in here. Now they're coming to kiss each other and swim around in circles. I'm gonna go ahead and clean these bugs out of the pool real quick. Kanye,
They
good
pull
morning,
up.
Kanye. Come on over here. It's time
pull
for
up.
pool party with Gort and Quandale Dimgle. Gort and Quandale showed up to the function without citrus fruits. Hey, good morning, Kanye. You guys may not know this, but Uncle Ben is also a beekeeper, and I lose on average a couple bees a day to this pool. Okay, went ahead and cleaned out all the bugs. If you guys are looking at getting Cappy Bappies, it's necessary to have a little table like this with some cinder blocks or weight on top of it so that they can get out of the water so they don't have to swim non-stop. Having a little place to rest is very important for them. How about we get you out of the pool here, son? Base? Grasshopper? Died? How about we get you guys some oranges? Good morning, Obama. Good morning, Donald Trump.
Peace was
Good
never an
morning,
option.
Remington. Oh, sweet wampum. Look at those. Whoa! The ostrich chicks are getting huge, you guys. This is the one.
I swear to god, like the video before last, they were literally like the height of this one's knee. These things grew literally like 2 feet in a day. These ostriches, I think, actually do end up growing like 6 feet a day at one point, don't they? Or not 6 feet. Oh my god. 6 inches a day, right? Ostriches, fast growth. One of their amazing attributes is the fact that the ostrich will grow to adulthood in 18 months. They weigh about 1 kilogram when born, and in the space of 18 months, grow to an incredible size of 140 kilograms. The female ostrich will start laying eggs when she is about 2 years old. So yeah, they'll be about 3 pounds when they're an egg, 2 pounds as a newborn, and 10 inches tall. By 6 months old, they'll be 6 feet tall. So they grow a foot a month. And by 3 years old, they're 5.5 to 9 feet tall. By 3 years old, they're 5.5 to 9 feet tall. Can you imagine growing from 10 inches tall to 9 feet tall in 3 years? That must fucking hurt.
One that used to have really bad splayed legs, you guys. Now it's doing really, really well. And this is the one that used to have curled toes, and it's doing phenomenal. They're at the age now where if they eat something stupid, they could probably pass it because they're large enough. The baby Rhea are doing well. I rehomed 2 of them because we just don't need a bunch of baby Rhea. But this one with the splayed legs now just has a slight case of curled toes in that 1 foot there. But every day I come out here, I refill their water and I refill their food. And it's not very hard to do. I just go ahead and put it over the fence here. This is how they drink. They just kind of scoop it into their mouths and then they move their head up to get into their throat. As you can see here, they're doing well. They're thriving even. Because of these guys, I now have an 80% success rate. Oh, I sure wish Tank was here to help me. What's cool is I get to show you guys how to do a citrus bath for your capybaras by yourself. You don't need a Tank or a camera person to help you make a citrus bath for your clappies. Everybody always comments and says, Uncle Ben, how do you give them a bath? How do I bathe my clappy blappy? Whoa, is that a bust? Uncle Ben, how do we bathe our clappy blappies with citrus? Citrus is nice because these guys are naturally naturally vitamin C deficient. And I have in my hands here the 3 main citrus. Whoa, how did that one get over there? Last thing we want is for these guys to get some kind of scurvy gum disease. So we're putting these in here so they can stew with them. These are also frozen, so it cools the water down just a little bit. Especially when you add a ton like this. And then, yes, we will be eating all of these. Don't you worry. Every one of these little balls of frozen citrus will be eaten. You see, guys, Uncle Ben made a deal with one of the HEBs in town where they would give him all their recently expiring or expired fruit so he can put it in the pool with his Cappy Blappies. Okay, now that we've got everything in here, I'm going to show you guys how to bathe them. First, you need to get these things for your fingers. Look, some of these actually sunk. Take a look at this, you guys. This is how you take care of your Clappy Blappies right. It's okay, children. Come here. Just let Uncle Ben bathe you. Just need to get the dirt from your toe.
There's nothing happening inside their brains. There's just nothing going on in there. That's what's so great about them. There's not a thing happening in their heads.
Oh, son, get back here. Let me get the dirt from your toes. Now this is epic. All right, now that we have all this stuff, I'm going to go ahead and get a watermelon and crack it open for them to eat right here. But today I'm going to let them get at least a couple hours in the pool so they can relax and enjoy being semi-aquatic creatures. Oh, is that Queen? Don't mind if I do. Look at this beautiful little girl. Oh, is that Kevin? Oh, no, it's fine. I don't need any help, Tank. You don't have to come over. Don't worry about it, Tabby. It's fine. Go ahead, run off with that boy from California. Go ahead, crack this.
Should I volunteer? Should I volunteer to become a helper, an intern at the Urban Rescue Ranch? Leave everything behind and just live under Uncle Ben's trampoline? Should I just DM him on Twitter? Be like, can I live under the trampoline with the baby and eat his poop? I guess, so that I can and get a shout out in exchange for a shout out. Just live underneath the trampoline. No, in all seriousness, though, if I actually did like DM him, I wonder. I feel like when you're a YouTuber and you've got like to a certain point, there's a certain point which you might actually be able to get like a DM back and like get a successful collab with larger YouTubers. But I don't know. He is constantly saying like apply, like if you're around and want to help, then apply. I wouldn't actually do this though. There's no way, no shot. I'm not going to Texas ever again. Okay. I went there once, and then I realized, oh shit, weed isn't legal here. That was very, 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 that was very upsetting. That was a very upsetting realization. Like, wait. Weed's not legal here. CBD is legal in Texas. CBT is also legal, but that doesn't get you high.
This one open just for the baby. The baby, this is what's called a watermelon. He really loves that watermelon. Also, this will be the first watermelon these guys ever try. Go ahead, bite the watermelon. Oh, look, he's eating it. Also, I finally sprayed all the caca off the top of these picnic tables. See that? Watch, I'll do it again. I definitely didn't use a knife. Take a look at this. No, the watermelon.
What are your thoughts on that watermelon, Mr. Babe? Is it delicious? Do you like it, sir? This man don't think, he just munch on watermelon.
They basically have the same face as a deer. That's the crazy thing. Like, they basically have the same head as a deer.
Watermelon. Well. Look who's finally eating the watermelon. They love all things melon, cantaloupe, and whatnot. While they shouldn't be eating these things on a regular basis, it's good for them to have it as a treat every now and then. And it's good for Uncle Ben to just sit down and enjoy watching them eat. I don't need to be right up on them to enjoy watching them eat. I can be right here. Ooh, look at this little bug here. Don't mind if I do. Oh, sweet wampum. Look at that fruit. Oh,
look, it has a little seed on him.
Looks like you got a little seed on your neck there, sir. You got a little seed right on your neck. Would you like me to get that seed for you, sir? They prefer the water whenever it's not right in the water. But to answer your guys' questions, I did not put a ton of chlorine in here. I put the very minimal amount of chlorine to keep brain-eating amoebas from being in here. But not enough for it to be a danger to their health or the watermelons if they eat them. I'm just going to hold this up for them, though. But this is their first watermelon, you guys. What do you think? Seems like Quandale is really enjoying it. Goat and Quandale munching on the watermelon for today. I gone ahead and move this to the middle so they have an island.
I really want to pet one. What do you think they feel like? I've never touched a capybara before. What do they feel like? Or is their fur like soft, or is it coarse and rough? It looks rough and coarse, especially against the grain. Is it like a dog? They look silky? Not really to me. When they're adults, their fur is rough? When they're babies, is it softer? Do they like belly rubs? Oh my god, giving a baby capybara belly rubs might be the closest to achieving nirvana humanity will ever reach. Oh my god. I'm getting capybara pilled. Oh my god. I'm literally just gonna end up being the Urban Rescue Ranch guy, but with politics thrown in, aren't I? Oh god. I can feel it. The masculine urge to just raise animals. Oh god. The masculine urge is taking over.
I don't think they would jump out of here, but just in case, I put it right here. Gordon and Quandale pulled up to the watermelon function. All right, well, these boys enjoy their wadums. I'm going to go ahead and finish the rest of the chores. I'm going to bring...
You should start with the guinea pig. Yeah, maybe I'll get a guinea pig and 2 capybaras. They can, like... Because they're so related. Like, start with the guinea pig and raise that for a while. And then, like, get 2 capybaras once that one's, like, grown up and a little bit more used to me. So that it can kind of teach them to be a little more... I've seen a chinchilla in real life, by the way. But maybe it'd be best to raise a guinea pig first to get it really used to me and liking me a lot, and then get capybaras, so the guinea pig can almost, like, raise the capybaras to be friendly and like, happy around humans. Guinea pigs are social animals. You should get 2 of them. Yeah, well, that's the thing with capybaras, though, too. They're also social, and you need to get at least 2 of them. So... Capybaras have rough fur. They like being scratched against the grain, and they like their feet being scratched. Aww. So literally the opposite of cats. Yes, there will be quail vlogs.
These boys with me while I do. Good morning, my little garbage disposals. Are you enjoying your day-long shade? This is a beautiful pecan tree that we have here that gives them shade all day, and in the fall, it's going to give them food. I put this hammock in here so I can spend time with them without them hating me. Oh, okay, son. Don't bite my hand. Okay, here you go. Here, just eat this. Eat this. Don't try and pull it away now, son. There you go, Petunia. Enjoy this little wadum. There you go, Queen. And you, Loretta, even though you don't like me, there you go. Yeah, Petunia loves the honeydew. Look at this girl. There you go, Queen. There you go. There you go, my little love. No, Kevin, don't choose violence today. You guys get it? Like the TikToks. No, Kevin, don't choose violence today. Don't choose violence, Kevin. Oh, Kevin, don't choose violence today. Don't choose violence, Kevin. Ooh, I love this little man. Banished from my farm. You've been banished. Be gone. Be gone! Don't choose violence, Kevin. Don't choose violence. Oh, he chose violence. I'm gonna bleed there. Karen is my wife, Kevin, and these are my children. Oh, I'm sorry. Are you upset that I'm taking your wife from you? Are you upset that there's repercussions for your actions from the last video? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just...
In the last video, Kevin was literally chasing around and attacking the babies, so it's kind of understandable. Rat tights are mean motherfuckers. They really are. Kevin is particularly evil, though, from what I can tell. Like, Karen is not as mean. None of the not even the other male Rhea that he's raising are as mean as Kevin. Like, Kevin legitimately hates him. And I think it's probably because, wasn't Kevin a rescue? Like, he didn't raise Kevin from an egg. He rescued Kevin. I love this screenshot of just him holding Kevin's neck.
Gently placing my hand on the back of his head. I really don't have to push him or hurt him. I just have to hold his head like this really gently. Okay, now all these guys are fed and they're happy. See, Kevin, notice how they all live in relative peace and harmony without you attacking them. And look how precious they all are. Especially my precious Karen. It's been so long since her and I bonded. Look at my beautiful children. Every one of these chicks was either hatched in my home or brought to me with a messed up neck, a messed up leg, or some other eye deformity. These are perfect little creatures and I love every one of them. Even Kevin I love to a certain extent. But if you watched my last video, obviously Kevin cannot hang with those little guys. And this is how I fill up their water. It's really easy. Here's some fresh water from Mark Zuckerberg. To everyone who showed up, I really appreciate you guys coming to Big Ounce's funeral. He's now gone. We really love him. I went ahead and buried him. Oh, and by the way, now we're out of citrus, so we're going to need to get some more. If you guys could send us some in the mail, that'd be awesome. Oh, I almost forgot to tell you.
Okay. Yeah, he used Big Ounce the prairie dog as bait while fishing. Big Ounce died. That was not him there in the fridge. I wish elephant birds and moas were still alive. God, the closest to moas we have to be cassowaries. Is there a cappy? No, that was Big Ounce the gopher. That was Big Ounce the Gopher. That was him joking about Big Ounce dying. Big Ounce isn't really dead. Big Ounce is alive. Anyway, with that said, guys, I have been live for 3 hours, which doesn't sound like that much, but I have to piss and I have to eat and I have to play Fallout 4. And I planned for today to be at a bit of a shorter stream. But first, I have to give you guys an update on the official Xanderhal Minecraft server. Here's the plan with that. So unfortunately, it's getting DDoSed a lot right now, which is fine. We're going to get a solution to that that'll fix it. But with that said, the other issue that we have is instability with the game itself. Unfortunately, due to Minecraft and the server not being multi-threaded, it's basically making it impossible to run any mods on there. Now, there is a way to make it multi-thread, but it breaks some of the mods. Which means we have to make a whole new mod pack, a custom one, which you guys will be able to get through the CurseForge launcher, just like the previous one. That's a little bit lighter, that also is able to handle the multi-threading, and once that's set up, we should be all good. But yeah, is all of hash hosting getting DDoSed? I believe so, yeah. Well, basically, there's like a Nazi who's just DDoSing the entire like hash hosting like thing that's hosting the servers because they're working with me, and Nazis don't like me very much. There's a prairie dog town near my apartment, so I see the wild big ounces roam free. Aw, that's so cute. I hate when he does that. Yeah, he always likes to joke about Big Ounce dying. Nazis don't like most people very much. Yeah, it's true. They're pretty mean. They're not very nice people, as you can imagine. They're not very kind. They don't have the kindest intentions at heart. They don't. Their karma levels are pretty low. If they were an RPG character, if you know what I mean. All right, listen, guys. That is the plan right now. So if you guys want to play on the official Xanderhal Minecraft server, then what I would actually like you guys to do is get into contact with Hash Hosting. He is on the official Xanderhal Minecraft or Discord server. If you would like to participate in helping to get the server fixed, particularly if you would like to help stress test the new server so that we know that it works when it goes live, please get into contact with Hash Hosting. We need as many people willing to help stress test the server as possible, and that means more people. So message Hash and let him know that you're down to stress test the server, and he can probably add you to like a group chat or something of people like organizing to help stress test it and get on all at once and do stuff when testing the server. Your help will be greatly valuable, like greatly valuable in actually getting the official Xanderhal server working, stable, and up and ready. I'll also be paying a very good deal to get a complete server rack, like a server shelf, the entire shelf at a certain place because of Hash Hosting and who he knows. It's a very good deal, and it's going to allow us to have a very powerful server with very powerful hardware, with a lot of room and spaces and a dedicated IP. So we'll be able to have a custom dedicated IP from my understanding. Like I should be able to get Xanderhal.mc and have that be the IP or something like that. It could like that's doable potentially. So yeah, that's what we're gonna try to pull off. You should play MC with Keppel. She started her own server recently. Maybe I will. Is it vanilla Minecraft, though? Because vanilla Minecraft is pretty boring to me. I've played Minecraft for... how long has it been since 2011? Technically, 2010 is when I started playing. 2011 is when I got my account. Whew. It's been a while. It's been a while. Anyway, guys, I really appreciate all of your support. You're all lovely and beautiful and amazing. And as always, I will see you all next time. Thank you for coming out, and I love you. Bye-bye. Doo-doo fart.